I'm a whole mess today.
You a whole ass mess.
Which Speed Racer?
Speed Racer, the original cartoon. Yeah, so I've been watching Speed Racer when I was like 4 years old, 5 years old. Been watching Dragon Ball Z since I was like 6. Yeah, but what really got me into it was like those Street Fighter games you play in the arcades and stuff, to be honest. That's what kind of propelled me into like watching like anime type stuff when I was like very little. Pokemon, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's me as an introduction. Go ahead, guys. I'll let you guys take the floor for your introductions.
I guess I'll go next on this one. Hey, everybody, name's Churro. Man, I'm just a hamster that loves anime and video games. Maybe video games more than anime. Sometimes I don't know, but hey, that's me.
Okay, I'm 7 into 7. Anime connoisseur. The first anime that I ever watched has to be Naruto. But the anime that got me into anime would have to be an anime called Katokyo Hitman Reborn. It's like a little mafia baby with a golden pacifier. Anyway, probably the very first anime that really had me just like, I might check this stuff out. It's pretty good. But I branched out into many other animes besides shonen, slice of life, some very realistic ones, some very brutal, gory, isekai, non-isekai, it's whatever. But outside of that, ninja connoisseur, and yeah, that's about me.
Pope?
Nice.
Yeah, what's going on? It's your boy Pope King. What got me into anime, man? I'm sorry. It was Dragon Ball Z.
Mm.
That's what that Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball was my first anime that I ever sat down and watched. And um no, yes, yes. Was it Tree of Might?
Mm.
Was the first DB? Yes, because that was Dragon Ball. Technically, it wasn't really Dragon Ball Z, or no, it was.
Hmm.
I forget. Yeah,
Tree
it
of Might.
was.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it
Dragon
was
Ball
Dragon
Z.
Ball Z. Yeah.
That was Dragon Ball. That was the first Dragon Ball movie that I saw. That was the first anime that I saw, and that got me into anime in general. Um,
Mm.
that was years ago. I remember sitting in my mother's bedroom, and it was like, what was it? I think it was Saturday or something like that. She was asleep. Whatever it was, she was asleep, and I was just knocking out, rocking out. But yeah, that was my first. That was my first time, and definitely wasn't my last time.
Honestly, that's a great first anime to start watching. That was a sick movie.
Man, it was.
You know, I know it was. Sadly, I don't remember a lot about Tree of Might. I just remember of like the long hair raccoon look-alike, and that's all I remember about it with the long hair.
Oh man, long hair don't care.
Hmm.
Ooh, yeah. Blast from the past, I want to say.
Man, what?
All right, so for our first segment, let's see, what should we start with? Should we start with Kaiju number
I
8
think
or
I think the philosophical one would be a better idea first, and then go
All
into
right.
kaiju and then monster hunter.
All right, sounds good. So, Churro, since this is your topic, go ahead and take it away.
All right, so something, as I said in my statement, sometimes I think I like video games more than anime, more of a gamer kind of thing. But something I've always kind of tried to like figure out for myself. Now, I know what my answer is, but I talk to a lot of people and I feel like I'm in a minority here. But what do you think is better? Open world games or story driven games? As an example, an open world game, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, versus like storytelling games of like The Last of Us or God of War. Like, which do you prefer, right? Or which do you would you say is better? Me personally, like I'll give you guys some time to think about it. I kind of give you my whole thing. I really like story driven games way more. I think that they are the better game. I know that open world games like give you a lot more to do, but I think more it's led too much to having an open empty world, and that's where open world games are going nowadays, versus a story driven game which like really makes you connect with characters, that makes it so much better. Because like I think open world games are just one, getting too big, and they're putting, like I said, it feels like a big map with nothing in it. um, the last open world game that I personally think was the best one was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It felt like that game, that world was the right size, and it was so full of just things to do. Versus like Skyrim, I would say. Skyrim, I played that and I tried to get into it, but it just felt like an empty world, not a filled world. It was a big world, but I just felt like there was nothing to do in it. But so for me personally, I like story-driven games more. I think they're better because they're a better game to play. But what would you guys say? I guess
Well,
yeah,
it's
go for it,
true.
Seven. Hmm.
Um, uh, would you say it's the execution of the open world game that bothers you more? Like, because you've got a favorite open world and you got an idea of a bad one. Like, Ubisoft's known to make like a lot of open world games, but people hate them like with a passion. So, in my eyes, a lot of times it's usually the execution of an open world game that sells it for me. And
Hmm.
so,
So
but to answer your, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, I guess one good example that I can give of a modern one would be, like, why can't I remember the name of it? It just came out with DLC that was too hard for some people. Elden Ring. I think
Elden
Elden Ring is a great open world game.
Hmm. You know what?
I think
That's right up
it
Pope's
sounds like
alley.
execution.
I was gonna say here quietly.
But to answer your question though, which
Mhm.
one do I like better? You see, when it comes to story games, the number one game that comes to me would be Uncharted. Um, I'm thinking of 4 and more or less 2. I don't know if you guys ever played those 2 games, but really good on the story aspect. And while I did enjoy them, sometimes I like if the game's got good world building, like every side character, everything that's in the world is really going to amplify the game to me as well. And
Mhm.
so it's like, I feel like if we're talking about consistency, a story game will give me a better game. But if we're talking about a well executed world, then sometimes it's that. But I guess if I had to choose one, I'll go with the story based.
Yeah, yeah. Pope, I want to hear your opinion on the Elden Ring side of that.
Oh wow. First of all, I will say concerning Elden Ring, your experience will depend on your level and skill issue when
Mhm.
like playing in period.
Oh yeah.
There's just nothing else to discuss. I'm a max level player on Elden Ring. That's 713. You can't get any higher than that, so I can use every and anything, and I still succumb to non-bosses, regular NPCs running around. Um, as far as it uh, pertains to the open world situation, I prefer open world. I prefer to find new things. I prefer to, be able to go across the map, and that was something that I had an issue with in video games in general. Um, being what's the word that I'm looking for? Restricted.
Limited.
Mhm.
Yes. I couldn't take it. I wanted to jump off of the mountain. Let me go. You know? Um if I want to jump off of this cliff to the right, I should be able to. I don't care if I die. Just let me go. I don't want to be restricted. Don't put boundaries and borders on me. Let me go. And now that there's such an influx of open world games, I mean I'm at joy. So in terms of that, I would prefer open world to story based. I do enjoy a good story, don't get me wrong, but it gets uh redundant, repetitive,
Mm,
if you know what I'm saying, right? Like you beat the game,
yeah.
same story over and over and over. Unless you have, I
Yeah.
believe it was Fable, where you can choose your fate. Those are pretty good. It was still story based, but you were able to make decisions that would alter the outcome. I don't know if there is a game where there may be an infinite amount of outcomes, just depending on the situations that you choose and how to handle them. But I have found that games like that are indeed once again limited, because you can play the game 50 times and just to be able to choose different options and see what the outcomes are. So open world for me wins it. It's something new every day. I might beat this guy today, he might beat me up tomorrow. I don't know, he's gonna respawn. Shit. I'll take my chances.
Uh, for me, yeah, I definitely hear all you guys' points. A nice open world game is pretty fun. It's a lot different than what you're used to. Like when they added them, it was really cool to go surf around to wherever you want. There's always something to do. Um, but I can definitely see Churro's points and like it just feels like nothingness, and you can feel like lost if it's not executed correctly. Uh, like for me, I don't know, like for some reason I just like couldn't get into Final Fantasy 15. I think that was their like open world game for like PS4. Like I was just like I don't know, it just wasn't enough direction for me. So for me, I'm choosing the
talking about the MMO?
linear. Huh? No,
You
that's
talking about the MMO?
that's 14. 15 is the
Yeah.
one where it's more like with Noctis. That one had like more of an open world feel to it, and like I was like venturing off doing my own thing, but I just got like kind of like confused and kind of bored and quit that game pretty early on. So for me, I'm choosing the linear story path. Like if I had to choose between Final Fantasy 7 remake or Final Fantasy 15, like the open world, like I know like a lot of people hate on the remake because they changed a lot of stuff, made it more filler and stuff, but that one had more of a linear path, and I felt like I was along with the crew. I was part of the crew. Versus 15 for me was just like, what am I doing? But I definitely see like I definitely do like open world games. It's just like if I had to choose one, definitely the linear path one. Cause
Well, so
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say no. Well, that's the thing. Like Ninja's correct when he says like if an open world game is executed properly, like that game feels great. Like again, Elden Ring. The whole thing about Elden Ring is that you're a scrub no matter what. Like you can be high level, but like man, if you fuck up your dodge, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of like the core of a lot of those Souls games is that man, they're hard. Um and so the world is built around that. So everywhere you go, you're gonna find an enemy that if you fuck up, you're gonna feel that fuck up, right? But something like Grand Theft Auto, where like, man, if I have a bazooka and an AK, I can climb on top of any mountain and nobody's gonna take me down because I got a bazooka and an AK, right? And it's just those kind of executions where it's like, I have this open world. What do I do in it? Shoot people, I guess. Cool. Now what? I go on top of another mountain and shoot more people. Jump off of it, I guess. That feels poorly executed. It feels bad. If like sure, Minecraft is a good example. Like there is a mountain that I can climb, but the whole basis of Minecraft, its core is to craft, and no matter where you go, you're going to be able to do that craft. It's a good open world game because it at its core it feels good. And I feel like a lot of open world games, what they're trying to do nowadays is just be like, look at the size of our map. It's like, cool, what can I do in it? It's like, no, just follow this story. That feels bad. And that's why I always like prefer story-driven games, because they have a path that they want to show you. And when you get to see the story that somebody's trying to tell you, that feels real fucking good. And like I said, in a good open world game like Elden Ring, when you feel what the developers are trying to tell you in the game of just like, this is our world and you mean nothing in it, trust me, the skeleton can kill you if you want to, they put that everywhere in the world and it just feels so good. But I just think it's a bit of a game industry thing where it's just like, hey, if you're gonna make an open world game, know what you're trying to go for. Don't just make a big world with nothing in it.
Yeah, I can see that. I will say on the other end, there can be some pretty bad linear story path games too.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, I have to agree on that one.
I do enjoy Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Like I just finally beat like the whole main story. Now I'm gonna go on to like the DLCs, and like stream it. But it just feels like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Like, oh, go find this guy, go find that guy and fight him. And then like after you beat like a couple main story parts, then there's like a filler part of like full of like a few boring side quests where it's like, oh, go gather this material for this person, oh, go save this person from this person. And it's just, and then after you do that, it's back to like the main stories, and then rinse and repeat, side stories, main stories, side stories, main stories. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I like the game, it just feels very rinse and repeat to me. But for other linear story path games, like let's say like the Metal Gear Solid games, I really like those ones because there's like a lot of like, if you replay the game but beat it under these circumstances, you get these you can get like invisible suit or something like that for the next time you play the story. Like if you never get caught once throughout the whole story, you can get the invisible suit. You can get like some really cool like upgrades for the next playthrough, so they make like playing it again very interesting with these new upgrades.
Have you guys played the Metro games?
Oh hell
Actually
yeah.
haven't.
what's the term that they give them? Metroidvania class style of games.
Mm,
When I say Metro, I'm thinking of the guys inside the tunnels and stuff. You talking about something else? Metro.
Awesome. I don't think I've played Metro.
Metro Exodus.
No, okay, I haven't played that. I thought you said fucking with why can't I remember?
Samus.
Samus, yes.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Metroid.
There we
For
go.
a second, can we talk about that? Would we consider that an open world game? Would we
No.
consider that like it's like you always do a lot of backtracking in those games. It's just like it makes me ask questions.
I feel
Regardless,
like I would give it a different class. I wouldn't call it open world, but go on.
yeah. Metro's got like there's like I think it's like Metro 2033, and then there's like anyway, there's like two games where they're like linear stories, and then you got one where Exodus like says, well, what if we gave you an open space to walk around in? It depends on where you are, because in some cases Exodus does it where like you have a lot of stuff going on. There are enemies that like matter. Certain enemies matter. You can't kill these enemies. You can't do certain things if you want the right ending. And sometimes they don't let you know until it's too late. But at the same time, there was something about knowing what I can touch or what I can mess with inside of the original two games that I guess I enjoyed more. Of course, my problem with Metro is really how their ending system works, because really you kind of can't play the game in order to actually get the good ending. But like at least for the most part, I would say that I guess I liked Exodus more. But I think it's because I've delved into the tunnels of the Metro. It's in Russia. I've already delved into tunnels for 2 games, and it's as if like I'm finally free to walk around. You know what I mean? And it's like,
right.
But maybe that's something to do. Maybe a lot of games need to try that idea. Hit us with a linear story, or even a lot of open world games being stuck in a linear story.
I actually wouldn't mind that. That sounds pretty good. I can't think of like an example, but yeah.
So this is the game you're talking about here, Metro Exodus.
Let me pull it up.
I don't remember if I played Exodus. I know I played the 2023 one. Redux? I forget what it's called exactly.
Redux.
Yeah. I remember I played that one.
Something else.
But no, I kind of I like that idea where it's like it's almost like a split between two, where it's like you give us a linear game, but you kind of give us a world to explore, like a decent sized world to explore. One thing that I also really like about one thing that I will give open world games is that some of them really do let you fuck up and don't let you go back on those fuck ups. The one that I can think of is was it Elden Ring or was it a Dark Souls? I don't remember. It's the witch that has like 4 arms. I think that's Elden Ring, where you could kill her and she ain't coming back. And like it's something about that. Like I appreciate some games that will just be like, "Hey, you can do this. It's gonna make the game a lot harder for you, but you can do it." Shovel Knight is one of the linear.
I think I know what
Shovel
you're talking
Knight.
about.
Yeah, Shovel Knight is one of the linear ones that I can think about, where it's like you can break your save points to make the game not only just harder for yourself, but like it gives you something as a reward, but it's gonna say like, hey, this is gonna fuck you up if you do this. So I like that about like some open world games, that they essentially let you fuck up real bad, and they're not letting you take it back sometimes.
One thing I do like about some of the some linear story path games, I think even like some open world games do it too. Like different endings. Like you can fail certain things and then like the story continues, you know? It's just it comes at a consequence. Or like it'll change the ending or a different cutscene later in the game. Those type of like alternate things I really like enjoy about some games. like my experience may be different from my friends, you know, like like, oh, do you guys remember that part of that story when this happened? What are you talking about? That never happened. This happened. Like, wait, what? And then it kind of changes the whole, like, oh snap, I need to go back and redo that part. What'd you do different? Like, those type of things are pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
I think people are still finding stuff in Red Dead right now.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that is true. Because
There's
I
been a
play
few
Red
games
Dead as
doing that.
well. Yeah.
I was so sad because, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of open world games. I prefer storytelling games. I don't know if you guys played the prequel to Red Dead Revolver on the PlayStation 2.
I heard about it, but I haven't played it though.
I've seen some videos.
Red Dead Revolver was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 2. It was so much fun. I loved it. And when one of my friends told me that they're remaking Red Dead, I was so happy. I was like, "Oh man, I get to go back to be like that six-shooter slinging cowboy." There were like multiple characters. There was like this rich guy who actually dual-wielded guns and shit like that. I was just so happy. And then it was like, it's going to be open world and you can do whatever you want. And I was like, fuck, it's not what I wanted. Yes, but yes, Red Dead, you do have a lot of things. Same thing, but same thing with what you were saying, Squall. In fact, in Metal Gear 3, I had a really fun experience because you'll know him too, Eagle from work. I was working with, when I first met him, we were talking about Metal Gear, and one of the bosses in Metal Gear, what's his name? The End, the sniper. You can beat him by entering his area, turning off your game, and waiting a week. And when you come back, he'll already be dead because he would have died of old age. I didn't know that. I accidentally did that because when I started his cutscene, I had to turn off the game, and then I went on fucking like vacation. And 1 week later, I came back, turned it on, I forgot what I was doing, and he was just dead. And I was just like, cool. I guess he just died. It wasn't until that I like saw Eagle at school one day, and he was like, and I was like, oh yeah, I just beat him. You know, I did this, and he was like, what? You can do that? I had to like fight him. So it's those little things, those little changes in games, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Sounds like Konami.
Yep.
That's not Konami. What's his name? Yeah, it's Konami.
Yeah, it's Konami. Hideo Kojima is the guy who made him, but Konami is the, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Oh, but Churro. Do you think that's Uncle?
That's
Red Dead
who?
Revolver. Do you think that's Uncle?
I think it is. In my own head canon, I think it is.
They would say like there's too many things you say and just lines up with it.
It does. I've seen a lot of theories kind of like disproving it, and they have some solid evidence, but no matter what, to me, that is Uncle for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Where do you pick up that Lebog?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But yeah.
Hope, did you got anything
Well,
on
I'll take it away.
Red Dead?
You know, only for the fact that I know there's so much that is uncovered, and for a game that's been out so long, it's amazing that people are still finding out things. And it's kind of like the same thing like GTA, in a sense too. But I haven't delved too far into Red Dead. I haven't even beaten the game or the story or anything like that. I just kind of play for fun, but it's yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. I like it. Red Dead's all right. Yeah.
One game I wanted to bring up for the open world. Did you guys play Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? Like for
Yes.
Zelda?
No.
Yes.
Who didn't?
That one was actually my first Zelda game, and it was an open world game. And that one was actually a really good one. There's just lots to explore. Like, you go in any direction, you're gonna find something awesome you'll stumble upon. Like I would just like use my glider from a high mountain, just go one direction, accidentally land on this big ass huge red, was it the red horse or the black horse? I forget his name.
Hmm.
And it was completely by accident. I'm like, the fuck, who's this big ass horse? And then like, I don't know, it's just like things like that all over the place. It's
Yeah.
like that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool like open world game done right to me.
No, I think Zelda, the fucking Zelda team knocked it out of the park with that. Like the world wasn't too big; it was filled with so many secrets. I I think since Ocarina of Time, everybody's been saying that Legend of Zelda could make an awesome open world game with all its secrets and whatnot, and well, they fucking proved us right.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that's your first Zelda game though. You're missing
Mhm.
out.
Yeah, it makes me want to go back and play the rest. The rest, they're more. Would you guys consider the Pope? Have you played any of the Zelda games?
No.
Oh damn.
Yeah. My bad, man. I
You
think
guys
I
are
need to-
missing out.
Gonna emulate.
I was gonna see if you guys can like name like if the rest of the ones prior to those are they more open world or linear story path?
They're way
Hmm.
more linear path. So
Yeah.
It would seem so.
the two that I'm thinking about, what is it? It's Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. They kind of feel open worldy, right? They give you like kind of like a world to walk around, but it's not that big. Like you can walk around it in like a few minutes, no worries. But they're very much more like linear story. Um, the ones on the DS, fuck, what's the one where he can turn into a pain?
Image cap.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's
Well,
also
that
that.
one, Nimbus Cap. Those are good ones, but the ones on the DS, like the kind of like the newer ones, on the Switch as well. Not the Switch. Fuck, why can't I think about the names?
Wii U?
Yeah, like those. I would recommend starting with those, checking those out, and then like kind of going back. They redid Majora's Mask on the DS as well. Check that out. It's fucking perfect. It's a great game. Like I said, it feels kind of open worldy, but it's more linear.
Okay.
Did y'all hear about the Legend of Link?
Yes, where you get to play as Zelda. Yes.
The Legend of Link. No, I didn't hear that.
Let me look this one up.
It's the first time, bro. It's the first time.
It's, the
It's not
first
called that, but it's first time.
It's what is it called? It's the new one. They just released. They released the images a few days ago.
It's like a new Zelda game coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, new Zelda.
It is called The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Yes. Yes.
Echoes
The-
of Wisdom.
Admittingly, so I've heard people say that the art kind of throws them off because it's very chippy. But
Oh, yeah.
they're super solid games. They're so good. Like the bosses are always super creative and shit like that.
It's got the Kirby art style.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Do that.
That's me sharing my screen for the new Echoes of
Yep,
Wisdom
mhm.
game.
Yeah, the reason
Yeah.
people call it The Legend of Link is because in The Legend of Zelda you play as Link, and in this one you play as Zelda, so it's The Legend of Link.
That's kind of funny, actually. Interesting.
You know, I know absolutely nothing on Link and Zelda, but there's something I just wanted to share really quick with you guys.
Mhm.
When you guys get a chance, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up in here in the in the chat. Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right, let's check it out.
This is my contribution to Link.
Let's check this out.
Oh, this? Yeah. I've seen it. It's great.
You seen it?
Yep.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna watch it right now.
Holy smokes.
All right, hang on. Let's turn this music off real quick.
It was good stuff, man. I'm telling you. Good stuff. I'm waiting for the full the full track.
Oh,
Supposed to be dropping on YouTube.
it's some sick beats. Like
It really is. That's what had me. I was like, yo, this beat is kind of fire. Like, damn, Link snapped on this shit. Link snapped. But I was like, it's like Mario was Drake on first person shooter and Kendrick heard that shit. Woke up and got busy. Damn, Link. Yeah, the beat was smooth. I was bopping my head at first. Like, ooh, okay, Link. Go, Link. Go, Link. Better watch out, Mario. Luigi about to get beat up.
Yeah, that did go kind of hard, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you see?
Well, I don't really have much else on open world versus linear path, unless you guys got anything. I think we're good to move on.
Well, Churro, you anything else you dislike about open world games?
There's a lot I could say I dislike about open world games, but I've said mainly what it is.
Gotcha.
As a
I
quick
guess if I could give I'll say my final thing is I actually really, you brought it up, Ninja. I actually really love Metroidvania kind of games because they're almost a combination of open world and linear. I wish there was more games like that.
So just to end it off, we'll do a quick recap. So Churro, linear or open world?
Linear for me, all the way.
Seven Ninja, linear or open world?
Linear.
And then Pope, linear or open world?
I'm open, man.
And I'll choose linear as well. All right, but looks like in the real world, it's more of like people prefer the open world, but for this panel, we prefer the linear. All right, and then
you guys like stories.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So now, since this is kind of an in-between, we'll read the chats. BGM says open world games daily for the exploring, but I do love a story-driven game. Nathan Knightley says Final Fantasy 15 is one of the fabulous boys in their flying jet car. And then he also says Grand Theft Auto is a great sandbox game with a story example of story meeting sandbox. I'm not sure what he means by sandbox. Do you guys know what he's talking about?
Sandbox is kind of just another way of saying open world.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much all for those chats. All right. And then now for segment 2, we will be discussing Kaiju number 8. This one I got, basically I was watching the homie Pope King here in the panel. He was streaming it one day on Kick, and I don't know, I think I chimed in on the first episode you were showing, because I do remember seeing shots when I was watching the first episode. I was like, whoa, this looks kind of crazy. What is this? It looks real good, like animation and everything. So it piqued my interest, and I had to give it a try. But yeah, I thought it was a great anime just from the first couple episodes. But Pope King, since I got the inspiration from you streaming it, I'll let you take the floor. What are your thoughts? What do you like about it? Dislikes? Anything you want to say about it, basically.
Well, hold on a second. Pope, would you like to give a summary of what Kaiju number 8 is first?
Oh yeah, that's better.
The viewers.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I no problem with that. So Kaiju number 8, recent anime that came out. It's looking like it kind of officially, for anime wise, so far what I know, it came out officially 8 months ago. Now this anime kind of popped up right around other major animes kind of taking a break. So for me, I would have categorized it as a filler anime, right?
Mm.
An anime in which, you know, I sit down and I enjoy while my main animes that I'm, you know, really hung on are taking a break. But it has transcended those boundaries in my personal opinion. Um Kaiju number 8 is literally all about monsters living in the human world and humans rising to the occasions of defeating those monsters. Um, they have suits that they wear that releases their battle power. The more natural their battle power, the more the suits are able to release it. Now, in this particular anime, kaijus, which are the monsters, what we didn't know and we still don't really understand unless you go and you read the manga. Um, an individual, a human, was actually turned into a kaiju. And I believe it's in the second or third episode we actually see that. Might be the second episode. We actually
I think it's
see
the
that
second.
happening. And that was like the first time, but then again, it was the second episode. So we're following the story of a human turned kaiju who has hopes and dreams of getting into the defense organization, which is the team or the organization that stands guard for the humans and defeats the kaijus. That's the basis of the story in the anime. I really thought it was pretty good. It had a good storyline. They didn't divert, but then again, I mean, we're only looking at, you know, under 20 episodes. So it definitely has room to grow, and in my personal opinion, it has a lot of potential. But that's my take on it, though.
Right now, it's like what, like 12 episodes?
I believe so. Yes,
Okay.
I think the season ended at
Yeah.
12 too.
yes, it did.
Sadly.
But the way it ended, it lets you know there's so much more to come, and there's
Mhm.
so much potential there. Um, in that world, if you know, with humans being able to turn into kaijus, it completely changes the strategies that the humans have versus these kaijus, you know. But I don't want to delve too much into it, man. But that's just my take on it. Um, I don't know. I know you guys kind of probably saw it. What do you guys think?
For me, I really loved it. I think it was at the end of the first episode we see like the main character turns into a kaiju unexpectedly. I do like the fact that like the defense force had like an age limit and then they increased the age limit because the main character is like 32.
Yeah.
They increased the age limit to 33. So
Hmm.
and this is his last year. He already kind of gave up, but you could like there's like hints of it eating away at him that he gave up on joining the defense force to fight the kaijus. And the fact that they changed it to like 33 the end year is kind of cool because like then it's like okay, now it appeals to us older audience, you know, a little bit. Like we're all kind of like in that age range, I want to say, or getting up there at least. um so like that was pretty cool that they did that. um it felt a little bit like Attack on Titan to me, but you know what? I actually don't care that it's kind of like Attack on Titan. I still loved it a whole bunch. The animation, the fighting animation, like the
Yeah.
story is just straight amazing to like watch and like see everything unfold. Um I think
I
in
want to say it feels more grounded.
yes. No, I feel like there's a lot of plot armor as well, like the buddy, like they hint toward of like, hey, like don't get too close to like anybody on the defense force because you'll never know when the last day is of seeing them. So I'm expecting like season 2 to be more like Jujutsu Kaisen, like season 2. If you guys watch that, like
Yeah.
just everyone just
Yeah.
boom, 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 everyone's dead, you know, like type of thing. So if it does become like that, like
I feel like they
I'll
have an early tell.
I,
huh?
I
feel like there'd be an early tale, like like because Jujutsu Kaisen was kind of showing like this is that kind of anime in the
Mhm.
first season,
Yeah.
versus like the Kaiju number 8, like it's like yeah, people are getting hurt, but they're not really dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I
so
was good. Yeah. I
I
don't
think
think.
go ahead,
No, no, go ahead, bro.
go ahead. But that's the impression I've gotten from it so far. Like if we're going to see something like it'll probably be a big event in itself, but it's not that kind of anime, at least off of season 1.
Okay. Pope.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I don't know. I don't. I have a feeling that I don't think any of the main characters are gonna die anytime soon. Um, Even though this anime definitely hints at instant death, because and none of these guys have like regeneration powers other than their suit. And see, okay, so that's the thing about it, right? Their suit technically gives them regeneration powers. There is a character, a female. I forget her name, but she actually should have died.
Mm-hmm.
In one of the episodes, but due to her suit's
Blonde one?
ability, yes, the blonde hair,
Ruka.
yeah, she has the greatest potential out of all of these guys coming in Kafa's class. That's the MC. So she in that episode, like I think she was pierced in the heart by another human turned kaiju that we saw, and this individual actually was evil. And it doesn't really go too far into that individual, so we'll probably see more of him in season 2. But yeah, when he attacked, he actually pierced her in the heart, and she should have died. But her suit, kind of, I would say, pretty much brought her back to life, regenerated her. So in a way, it's almost like, well, these guys aren't going to die; they're damn near immortal. The defense team. I mean, obviously, because look at what you're dealing with. But then again, honestly, it's an instant death anime. Literally, like you can get crushed
Yeah.
at any moment, and with that being what it is, I'm not really sure. Like I'm very undecided about that. Like, are we going to see a lot of death happening?
Mm-hmm.
Because so far it's been a lot of close calls. You had the when he transformed to save the little girl's mother. Um, that could have been a death scene for the mother. I mean, I don't really recall if anyone actually died like that.
So far,
If they
none
died, it
yet.
was somebody that was like a. If it died, it's a side character that no one knows.
Yeah,
On average,
just
there's always an
yeah,
explosion or something.
collateral
Um,
damage.
Yeah.
yeah. But when I look at this anime, it's like you said, it's probably going to be instant death. I feel like it kind of reminds me of how in our games today, like we'll have a lot of characters where they'll be damaged, but then you give them a couple seconds, they'll heal up. But it seems like there's what's the word for it? Basically, when you do something too much, the return of it is not as good. It starts with the D. But anyway, it seems like their healing gets weaker over time, and their suit has a limited a power source in it as well. So I imagine what would probably happen. Matter of fact, we kind of did see that with the blonde girl. One more time, and she would have been done for.
It would have been yes.
Um,
Yeah, we did. That's true.
so I feel like either we're gonna see something like that, or again, instant death. One of the two. But I think it'll be I feel like it's gonna be a big event kind of situation if it happens.
Shit, Kappa almost died in the examination. With his 0% output, and he literally squeezed out 0.01, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that was literally all he needed in order to start regenerating and keep himself alive, because he had internal bleeding. I think his leg was broken or some other stuff. So yeah, the suits definitely have a limit.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna die in that anime, and it's gonna be someone in the Defense Force. And I feel like season 2, they may just start killing people off.
Same.
Mhm.
Like I
Because
thought.
especially-
About that 0%.
What was that?
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that
What?
0%? Why? Why? I mean, remember? Okay, I looked it up a while ago, so I was trying to figure this out, and it's like they were like, well, the reason it's like that is because of the monster. But then I was like, but he failed multiple times before that, so he's got
Mhm.
0% before that.
Mhm.
So what happened? What caused that?
The change.
Do you guys think that the kaiju
Then the
actually made him
monster-
zero?
No, I don't. Not based off the fact that he failed the other ones, because the average mediocre person has higher numbers than that.
Mhm.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So for
They
him to
said
have
no one had
0%,
actually had a 0%, and then he popped out with a 0%. He was the first
Yeah.
one to actually have a 0%.
I remember like in the first episode though, when the white blonde haired kid was first introduced and becomes his main like confidant. He was like, "Yeah, I heard you had like a lot of potential. Like, why'd you give up? Like, I wouldn't have given up if I were you." And then like when we see him actually do the training course, he's like actually terrible. Like, I don't know if it was just because he never really kept up with his training, or he's just actually terrible, you know.
Well,
Like,
well,
I thought it
when
was
you
hinting
think
at
about it,
him.
I
right?
looked at
Oh, go ahead, Pope.
When you think about it, this is a guy in his 30s now competing against 18-year-olds. So, me at 37, I understand. It's like me getting on the track, and all around me, they're all 18, 19, 20. What the fuck? Like this is walking ball of testosterone, bro. I'm on my third cup of coffee, bro. I'm still trying to get the sleep out my eye. My jaw stuck in my ass, bro. I can't make it. What the fuck? Listen, that's literally what he's up against.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know what? You just have to be. Let's think IRL for a second, because it really is real like that. You do have some 30-year-olds that cannot keep up with 18-year-olds, and that's just for lack of exercising. So was that the case with him though? Because I mean, he had a 9 to 5 job. He was working overtime a lot, but this 9 to 5 job wasn't like a desk job. It was
Yeah.
physical.
Mhm.
So you had to be in some sort of shape. Now the reality is, in your 30s, you can be in mediocre shape and work a job like that. You work smarter, not harder. So you don't have to lift a lot. That's cool. And I think we kind of saw that, because when he was introduced and he was like, this is his job, and one of the most important things or whatever, he's using lifts and cranes, and he's using a lot of tools. So it's not so much like physical labor. But now when you go to this obstacle course and you're trying to enter in, like, again, you're competing with people that are 18, 19, 20. All of these guys are in their 20s. Remember, the cutoff was what, 32?
Mhm.
And they just raised it to 33, so he had one last shot. So was it from like 18 to 33? You're literally
Yes.
going up against people in their prime, people that just can roll out of the bed and run 10 miles and then lift for 3 fucking hours, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I don't know. I think once he hit 30, everything just plummeted for him.
I will say.
I certainly think he slacked off after. Go ahead, 12.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
possible he slacked off. I will say, I played some basketball 2 days ago on 4th of July with like some teenagers. I got suckered into it. I didn't want to play. I'm like 31, and I kicked their asses, but my whole body still hurts from like 2-3 days ago. Like, I got some new injuries
Yeah.
I never felt before. Like, I won because of my ego, but at what cost? I'm hurting
wasn't
all
playing.
over. Yeah. Oh.
You're not beating me.
I'm hurting all over, but I still
you
did
know
it.
what's You know what sucks even more is those guys. They went back on. They're like, he won because he's older.
Because he's older, yeah. He's got more experience.
Yep.
So I
That's
think he
funny.
could do it, but yeah, he's definitely hurting. Like he's still got like his physicality on him, but he's gonna be hurting after every training session versus like the younger guys. When after every
Yeah.
training session, they'll just be like, "All right, let's go hit the showers. I'll be good tomorrow morning." Um,
And
so-
and then you know, this one thing I wanted to point out too that it kind of has to deal with this. I mean, perhaps one of the reasons that they have a cutoff is for the youth. I
Mm.
wonder if the youth, right, and being at your prime has something to do with the release battle power with the suit.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? Since him being like 33, he's literally at that cutoff age, and he's unable to release anything other than zero, or what was it, 0.01 initially, like at the end when we saw. So I wonder if, you know, they go for the younger people because they're able to release that battle power.
mm. This is a good theory. I
Oh,
like this theory.
yeah, I was curious
We
about
do
that
need
because
to
he's
talk about the father.
Father.
You remember the blonde girl's father?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Because he's a different beast. Now, I remember though Kafka did say he kept up with his training. It was maybe not as much as he would have, but he did say he kept up with it. Especially we could kind of say like we see his training when he's fighting that monster before he got the kaiju power.
Wasn't that her?
And he's
Oh no.
Yeah,
My
he
bad,
was
bro.
quick.
no,
He
I'm
was
thinking about
quick in
I'm
that
talking about
first
Kafka.
episode. Like in that first
Yeah.
episode when he saved the whitish blondish haired kid, he was fast. He like
Yeah.
tackled him out the way at the last second, like kicked him out of the way at the last second, running away from the
Yeah,
kaiju. He was
that's
quick.
true.
He had
Yeah, he
moves.
was. Yeah.
Just to make sure I'm thinking about the
What?
right dude. It's the dude who has like the gauntlets, right?
Yes,
that's the
Yeah.
father.
yes.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah,
father.
that's the father. Oh
Mhm.
my lord, he is a totally different type of monster.
Mhm.
Jesus,
He
bro.
was cool as fuck.
He
Yeah.
was what?
I don't remember. Don't they say something about like he was once listed as like their strongest and like fighter or something like that?
Yeah,
He still
Mhm.
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
He low key is. He's stronger than the vice captain, and low key, I feel like the vice captain is stronger than the captain because she's only about guns. You see what I'm saying? But then
Mm.
again, she
Yeah.
chose him because, I mean, it was the opposite of her, and she needed it. He's a beast. I feel like hand to hand is monstrous, and that father is he's a different. That was a different level, like of aggression, of you got to get the fuck up out of here. Of I'm finna put these balls on you. Like what?
Well, doesn't he actually? I remember that he actually fights him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does in the
Yeah.
last episode. Yeah, that was the epic battle for the end of the season. That was, I mean, that's probably gonna go on my background a little bit. What? Bro, like whew.
Yeah, that fight was sick.
Yeah, that type of energy is crazy.
Yeah, that fight
Would
was
you
good
consider
because
him the measuring stick, though?
what was that?
Would you consider him the measuring stick of the anime?
The metric
You know, like
stand?
how like Vegeta is like a measuring stick in Dragon Ball. Like if
Mm.
Vegeta loses, like he's powerful. Would you say he's the measuring stick of the anime?
father?
That's too.
Yeah.
That's too much of a stick, man. That's
Yeah,
too big.
I would
It's
say
too, I say it's too early to say that.
yeah, I would say it's more the vice captain or the captain that would be the measuring stick.
But not really, because he's stronger than the vice captain.
Well, like I guess you could use him as like the like to measure like if they can take one of his punches. All right, they're a certain level of strong, right? So like
Yeah.
kinda like you can kinda do it that way, but
I
I
think
would
he
say
was
that'd be
holding
on the
back.
high end.
Not against that. Not against Kaiju number 8. Not against Kafa.
Not near the end, but I'm talking about like because it seems like he's working him into it. Like they were talking about, like he would have killed him in his human form. So I think he was holding back at least for a good period. Because at some point, I think he says, "I gotta lock in." Not as exact words, but I think at some point he says he's gotta lock in. So
You know what I'll say to that? He made the mistake that Goku makes, and I feel like Goku does this shit all the time, and I wish
Being
Goku
a
wouldn't.
father.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, why are you waiting for motherfuckers to transform, and why are you taking it easy? I feel like if the dad had exerted the type of power that he did at the end of the fight, in the beginning of the fight, it would have been done. You
I
see what I'm
think
saying?
I think the dad pushed him into that form where he couldn't control himself anymore to see if he can actually control himself. 'Cause I think like his daughter actually like had some sort of influence on whether or not to straight up kill Kafka and use him for parts or keep him around or not. And like so since like he kind of like eased him into like pushing him over the edge and then seeing if he can control himself after that, like can he, that was like the deciding factor of like whether or not to keep Kafka alive or not.
You think so?
Yeah, cuz like right at the end, right like right when Kafka like attempted to like finally gain control and kill himself, uh what's it called, like before he killed himself, like the dad was sitting on the ground, he was like, I had high hopes for you, like he basically almost gave up and like was gonna die or something like that. He said like I had
well, the
high
old man
hopes for you.
beside the girl was the old man beside the girl said, he would have killed him in his human form, right? So like, the bald man, right? So he was probably trying to test him then.
That's interesting. I might have to go and rewatch that episode.
I gotta ask, would you
What is it?
say that Kafka is the Godzilla of that anime?
Fuck yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
Even his
he's
beam,
up there.
everything about him says it. Everything
So
about it says it.
So far, he's like the strongest, right? Every time he pops up, they're like, "Oh my god, it's a 9.8."
Mhm.
So I think so far he has shown to be the strongest kaiju that I think they have encountered, if I believe so. I don't think so. I mean, so far we haven't seen anyone as strong as him, because the even the boss at the end, or the enemy at the end, where he had to like transform and reveal himself in order to uppercut that explosion, that boss was a lower level than him.
Mhm.
He wasn't as strong.
He was
And
like a
that
9.
guy was pretty OP.
Mhm. And I think like when he revealed himself to like the whole defense force to like like push that huge nuclear bomb out into like the sky, I think his power raised to like 10 or something like that they said. I could be wrong
Yeah,
on that one though.
I think he used max power at that time. I think he was probably maybe close to the threshold of where he was at the end of the anime, where he raged out. But that was him, I think, unleashing everything that he had, because he had to do like a super jump, and I believe that helped him with his attack in
Mhm.
order to send that out into the sky. But I mean, yeah, he did. That he is definitely the Godzilla of that anime. I will say that. I mean, you can't. He looks like a fucking Godzilla, mini Godzilla, anyway.
He does. He kind of does.
Especially at the end of the intro, when they do like that he poses and then it turns like white. It reminds me so much of Godzilla.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to go back to that one other humanoid kaiju. Like I have a
Number
theory.
9?
Yeah, number 9. I have a theory. I think he's not a human turning into a kaiju. I think that's a kaiju who has the ability to
Turns human?
become human. Yes. Just cuz I don't know, he just acts way too weird to be human. Like the way his eyes look, the way he talks, like, oh, humans are like this, oh, humans have the ability to do this, like it doesn't seem very human like to me. I think he's a kaiju that has the ability to turn into human. What do you guys think?
Would
Do you
you
guys
say
think
he's a
he's a
Ginyu?
human? I don't.
Ginyu is crazy.
Yeah, I think yeah.
He might be.
He does have the ability to like eat humans and turn into those human forms, like so Yeah, to that extent, yes, he can change bodies. But that, like that
That
ability
guy he
right
stole,
there, what was that?
that guy he stole at the end, like
Hmm.
he could have got out of there. Dude was gonna let him go, and he
Yeah, he stood there.
I gotta yell at you. I gotta yell at you real quick. He paid for it. It is what it is.
But like that right there, how he ate the other human and turned into that body, that to me screams like he's really a kaiju that can turn into other bodies, human bodies. You know, that kind of, that to me, he's not a human if he could just change other bodies. Like Kafka can't do that, you know? He stays his normal human, his original body when he goes back to human.
I like that theory just because I remember the scene where he's fucking using the tiny little cell phone. I'm pretty sure that's it, isn't it?
Oh, that's when he was in a
Yeah.
in a bathroom stall.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Wasn't that the first time we saw him? That
Yes.
was the
I think
first
so.
time we
I
saw
think so,
him. Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
And the funny thing is about it is that they never showed like how he came to be. So all we know is that a kaiju was devoured by a human, and that's what turned a human into a kaiju, as in Kafka's case, right?
Kafka was forcefully fed the kaiju, and that's how he
Yes.
turned into a kaiju.
I mean, I think the same could have happened, except that maybe this kaiju is taking over the human. You see what I'm saying?
Huh? That's a
The only
good theory
problem-
too.
There, you know, like there's some anime out there where like there are just people who want to watch the world burn, and
Mhm.
so it makes me wonder if that's a possibility, like just an evil human kind of
That
situation.
could be possible, yeah.
But I do think it's probably more than likely a kaiju
I
eating a
think so,
human. More
too.
than likely.
Yeah, it's got to be a kaiju taking over a human, because I mean this individual is still learning about humans and the human body, and in that episode or that scene where we saw in the bathroom stall,
Mhm.
he had to have just happened, because he didn't even have full control over the body. When he turned human and he walked outside, his neck was going crazy while he was walking behind the group, looking to
And-
see how to use his cell phone, the way he was holding it, the way he was
Exactly,
sitting
yeah.
on the toilet, like everything about the decisions and the movements was it was new. It was like, wait, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? But then it was quickly learning and adapting, like
Mhm.
instantly. So I don't know. I mean, so far all we know are that kaijus eat humans, and now we know that kaijus can be eaten by humans. This is so weird. Um
Well, I mean, if you killed Godzilla, wouldn't you want to see what like Godzilla steak tastes like?
Absolutely, absolutely. What? Put some
We're
hot
not
sauce
talking
in
about
that
that anime
thing.
today.
Yeah.
Soy sauce, some
We're
hot
not
sauce.
talking about today.
Yeah, let me get some vegetables on the side with some white rice. Stop playing. Dang.
Exactly.
What? Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I do believe that this is an individual that I don't think he was eaten by a kaiju, but I think it's the same thing that happened with Kafa, except that this kaiju is taking over, because it's a lot of kaiju led decisions, and everything is, even the job. Look at the job that he has. It's the same as Kafa, the cleanup
Mhm.
crew, but and it brings him so close to kaijus, and it kind of is like, and then in a way it kind of completely hides him, because who would look for a kaiju on the kaiju cleanup team?
Yeah, it's a good cover up.
yeah.
Great cover up, I think that's probably
Here's a
something we'll
question.
figure
Do you
out
think
in
we've seen him?
season 2.
Here's a question: do you guys think we've seen him in earlier parts of the episodes? Like,
Like him
yeah,
in
we
the
saw him in
background
the stall.
somewhere.
Yeah. Like, were there hints to it early?
I don't think
With a
so,
character like
'cause
that, you could probably see him across the anime.
It's
I,
I
possible.
didn't see him. I
I'd
didn't
have
see
to go
him.
back and like
Yeah,
reread and watch and shit like that. Yeah.
I didn't see him at
Like,
all. There
where's
was
Waldo?
no indication of him. Or at least for me, I didn't see anything.
Yeah,
So
I don't think so. Oh, go ahead, Tro.
I was gonna say, by the way, speaking of him with like the cell phone, you mentioned how he was holding it in the anime. In the manga, he's actually holding it properly, but he's
Oh,
questioning himself. Like, is this how you do it? Is this how humans do it? Like, he's still questioning it, but he's still holding it properly. In the
Hmm.
anime, they changed it so to where he's like holding it all funny and shit like that.
so you know what? It has to be the same thing where as Kafa, where it was forceful, and this individual got taken over. Because, I mean, even in the manga and in the anime, it's a thing where this individual or this thing is trying to figure out the best way to behave in terms of its mannerisms so it doesn't blow its cover. So I mean, if you have that internal struggle, then that means that it's like some type of mental fight, you know. So instead of Kafka, where Kafka retained his humanity mentally and emotionally, this individual is completely taken over and is just, the kaiju is trying to figure out, all right, this is the right way to be. Should I walk like this with two left feet or one right and one left,
Mm-hmm.
On that same note, now I don't remember. I read the manga a while, not too long back ago, and then I like watched the anime just to kind of catch up on things. In the manga, I don't know, I don't remember in the anime, he specifically takes an officer with him. He says something along the lines of like, I'm gonna take him back with me to like examine him. And people, and like what Pope was saying, like maybe you see him earlier because people are questioning, like the question is like, where's he taking him to? Where's his house? Does he have,
Mm-hmm.
where is his place of like being essentially? And so I don't remember if that was put in the anime, but I was
Yes.
yeah.
That
Mhm.
was that was the main character's main confidant. Like he fought the pink-haired sharp tooth guy, I forgot his name, and then it was the other dude who was like trying to become stronger to make sure Kafka doesn't have to transform. Beats the shit out of both of them, like
Mhm.
shoots the main confidant full of holes, which I thought he should have died. Uh, and then he was like basically he was gonna take the main confidant, and he was like, yeah, I only need one person, so I'm just gonna
Mhm. Yep.
kill the pink haired guy. Um, and then
They
yeah,
never
that's
go for the
basically what
head.
happened. Huh?
Yeah.
They never go for the head.
Hmm.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, that's
Never.
true. It's never a headshot. It's always these body shots. Like, why is it all the enemies in anime don't know how to fucking aim?
They don't have Call of Duty.
Yeah, no aim assist. You're
Yeah.
fucking right.
I will say the studio that actually makes the anime, Kara, uh, they've actually done live action Godzilla projects.
Hmm.
They've done a one called Giant Warrior and Shin Godzilla. They're also the guys who make Shin Ultraman and Kamen Rider. That's what got me interested in them originally because I was like, you know what, I like I like Godzilla. Godzilla's fucking dope. But kind of like with everything I watch, I'm like, they've built this kind of world around it, and I want to know how they live knowing that this presence exists there. So that's why I started reading it a while back ago. Um, and it's like they kind of show you they're just like, this is how we have to fucking adapt. And that's my favorite thing about it.
Can we talk about like how many times do they get attacked? Like just one episode. Like it feels like
That's,
maybe five, six, seven,
mm,
and like you just go to another episode. It doesn't feel like a time skip happened, like a couple of days. It feels like this is the same day. I just took a nap, and we're
Yeah.
getting invaded again.
mm,
Yep.
that's exactly that.
And
That's
we gotta call
exactly what it was.
everybody.
Yeah, and every single time is literally like a life-threatening event.
Hmm.
Every single time, because the kaiju's can level that, and it don't matter. It can level a city if go unchecked. Every single time.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
What's it called? I remember like yeah, it's like they had like it's just like very random too. They'll have like a few days for that entrance exam stuff, and then on the final like test where it was more knowledge based, and they first got the suits. It was like perfectly fine. They handled everything perfectly fine. Boom! They get hit with like a real kaiju, and then
Yep.
let's see. Yeah, I do remember like that final one where Kafka actually had to reveal himself. It was like, okay, I think they just got done with the mission earlier that day. Then at the end of the night, they had to like they get invaded again. Then where the main captain had to come and save their ass at the end, and then boom, the big nuclear bomb is there. It's like, oh shoot, another calamity. And then Kafka was there to like save the day.
Saved the
Damn,
day.
I didn't know DJ Khaled was in there just being like another one.
Hell yeah.
It does make me wonder though, how did they not see that mass above them this whole time? Like I know you like obviously I'll say this. There's something during my looking into like ninja knowledge, one of the things they talk about all the time is people don't tend to look up. But I feel like I would have seen that. You know what I mean? Like a big mass, and you know they're going up there. Like you see them because they're flying. Bro, what makes it even worse? They're flying. Like they're not ground monsters. They're flying.
Yeah, they're flying.
How did you
And
miss that? Like,
that's a good point. And because they were fighting that one kaiju number 10, the red one who turned into like a giant one, so they're looking up from him from ground level, at certain points.
Well, no, that mass didn't start until he was defeated because his last roar or sound, because that's what they said. They said it wasn't a death cry. It was a last resort. It was him screaming out to all of them to gather. Like, this is, you feel me? This is our atomic bomb. This is our self-destruct method. And that's what he said. He said, human, it looks like this ends in a tie. So he knew he was dead, but his roar was the signal to the rest of them to gather and detonate, self-destruct, and take everything with them.
That does ring some bells. That's a great point.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, I still don't know how they didn't see that shit. Blind asses. So much dust in their eyes. But yeah. And I think he fought the vice captain, didn't he?
yes, he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And turned
And
into
that
Stone Guards and Godzilla.
and that was crazy. That's how strong the vice captain was. But what?
I really thought the vice captain was really cool. Like
Yeah.
he said he couldn't really fight the larger ones. That's where the main captain comes in.
Yeah.
So like fighting like Kafka type
That's his
kaijus.
specialty.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's his specialty. But that's what the captain said. Like when they went into their backstory, the reason that he was chosen was because he was proficient in the hand-to-hand and with the knives, and she wasn't. She couldn't use a sword or knife, anything like that for her life, but put a gun in her hand and it's precision aim. So yeah, they
Or she could use
complement
a
each
table
other.
knife.
Huh?
She said she couldn't use a table knife.
Yeah, she can.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
she can use a butter knife if her life depended on it, bro. You
Ain't no
mean? But give her a water pistol. Hold on. What? Duck.
Oh, okay. So here's another question then. Like, what do we think is really the determining factor of how the power usage is? Because all of them have willpower. I mean, all of them desire to survive and fight. They want to kill the kaiju. Like, it doesn't seem to be a matter of skill. So, like, what's the determining factor? Because even that pink-haired guy, you know he's got the will. You know he's willing to put in the effort. You see it all through all of them. What's the deal? Kafka's, Kafka's got it. Like,
I'd have to
you
say
guys
it's
think?
just like innate potential. Like
Yeah, I was gonna
you
say that too.
you got it or you don't type of
Yo, you
thing.
don't, because look at the dad and look at the daughter.
Mm.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
The
He's a
bloodline.
legend and all yeah, a bloodline. And all he ever told you have to be the best. You have to be the best. And she trained and she trained and she honed her skills. But I feel like it's something genetic. I mean,
Mhm.
but then again, too, let's not forget that with training, their unleashed battle power was increasing.
Mhm.
So once again, I mean, but then again, I feel like her dad maybe blows this out of the water, but once again, I just think it's the youth, and that, driven by that the youth that you have and the potential. But then when you see her dad is well over Kafka's age, and I mean he's moving like, you know
He's
like a
20.
beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's and the thing is, he's coming with strength, aggression, ferocity, precision. Like everything is just, he's a well-oiled machine. So maybe it's the training, and you can increase the battle power that you bring out. I don't know, because she's just been training over and over and over, and that's why she's so good. um all these other people have been training as well, and some of them are just, they're all tops coming from their schools and their districts and things of that sort. So I think it's just with training, is just simply with training. I don't know.
Yeah, I do
Also,
remember
doesn't
they
she have a special
stated.
suit?
Oh, she has a unique weapon. They crafted one for her.
Yeah.
But not the
The
weapon.
axe.
Isn't her suit different?
No,
She
no,
had
her
like her
suit's the
own
same.
one.
Oh, she had her own special suit. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
so that's gotta be something too.
No, but
Um,
that was in the beginning, before she went into the exam, because in the exam they gave them suits. But
Mm-hmm.
she had like her own special suit, but I think that's only because of who her father was.
Mm-hmm. And then I do remember they stated like after like the training exams were over, like people plateau at 20% and they
And she
can't
was
get
at
over it.
46.
No, yeah, but like some people, like most people can train and plateau at 20% and never get over that no matter what. But like the main character's main confidant, I can't remember his name, the whitish blondish haired dude, he was actually improving over 20%, while the pink
Over
haired guy,
20%, yeah.
he was stuck at 20%. He was like, dude, why is he getting stronger? And he's like surpassing me now. Like I was above him, like I can't get past him, and now I'm the one who needs to catch up to him, and I can't get stronger now. So like I think it's like more of a, like you got it or you don't. Are you Uchiha and you got the Sharingan, or are you just somebody
Yeah.
who can never get the Sharingan?
or
That's
or
kind of
or
how I see it.
or as Vegeta would say, do you have the blood of a Saiyan warrior within you? Say
Mhm.
what?
Mhm. Basically, like yeah, if you want to put it in Dragon Ball Z terms, like, are you like a Bardock or are you like a Gohan who just like gets mad and just boom skyrockets?
Are you a Broly?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, exactly. Are you a regular
I feel,
Saiyan or are you a Broly?
I feel like her dad is a Broly.
Yeah, basically.
And she might be a baby Jiren.
Mhm.
Fuck.
talking more on the pink-haired guy though, would you say? I feel like he internally has an inferiority complex. Like his desire isn't. How would I put that? I feel like because he's always so competitive. It's not about just like I
Getting
want to be the
stronger.
best for
Yeah.
myself.
He wants to
It's
be
like
better than other
I
people.
want to be, yeah. And I wonder if that's what it really is that's holding him back, because you don't really hear it in much of the other characters. The others seem to always be raising in some way, but it seems like that might be what's really going on in his head. Like his goal or is not pure enough yet.
That's a good point, to be honest. Like he's got the whole Vegeta, like I just want to be better than this guy versus the other guy. Do you guys remember his name? The blondish white haired guy kid?
Ruka?
Ruka? I
It's Aruka.
I believe it's R. I know for
Yeah,
sure.
I don't want to keep referring to him as the main confidant, but anyways, yeah, his goal was
I would just
I
be
don't
aware.
I don't want
Mhm.
Kafka to transform anymore. I want to get stronger to make sure he doesn't use his form anymore. So to protect him, it's like like his goal is to protect versus his goal is to become strong. So like yeah, that's a great point. Like maybe their goals like increase their potential in the suits.
Mm.
Oh, Reno
That's his name.
Ichikawa. Reno, yes, Reno. That was his
Reno,
name.
whatever. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I thought Reno should have died when he fought Kaiju number 9. I thought that would have been like probably good storytelling in one way or another. But they end up doing some really good stuff with him later down the line, like when Kafka gets found out and like they take him to meet the director, I forget the father, I forgot his name too. But and then he steps out of line. Like remember like when he's walking down like man, I can't even look Reno in the eyes. Like he probably hates me for showing myself. And then he steps out of line. I got full faith in you that you're going to return. Like I thought that was really nice storytelling right there. Like it completely like I was on the same thoughts as Kafka like damn bro, like he probably is
Yeah.
mad like his head's all down like it looks like he's angry then boom. Like I still believe in you, sir. Like I thought that was really nice touch.
Mm. So here's another question then. Do you guys think that there will be other kaiju that are good, or at least neutral, like Kafka? Do you think that's a possibility? Or do you think they'll more than likely just obtain some kind of suit or something? Because they're making suits or weapons out of their parts. What do you think is more likely? Okay. Let's take it another way. Do you think there'll be new kaiju that we find to be like Kafka, or do you think we'll see more characters that are like the father or like the daughter that just get a special weapon?
I'd like to see more kaiju that are like nice, because it's just kind of like they're not just monsters. They obviously have some kind of some kind of like what is emotions and shit like that. So it's like I can't
Hmm.
imagine why, if they weren't like, somebody could almost try and reason with them. It's like, hey, stop destroying the city because you're killing people. And they're like, oh no, I'm doing bad or something. Like, I'd like to think that it is possible to like get through to them and like meet actual like good ones, and they're not just like mindless monsters just killing people or destroying villages and shit like that.
Mm, I think like this anime really gives me flashbacks to Parasite. I don't know if you guys seen that one.
Yeah,
Uh
I've seen Parasite.
I've seen some stuff.
so
Yeah.
so in that one there was only one other human that had a parasite not take over the brain um and become like a parasite basically. So I think like if we do see another kaiju human that can control the kaiju, I think it'll be very rare, maybe like one, maybe two at most. And they're probably not going to be on the same level as Kafka. I think they're probably going to be weaker for sure. Like, cause I think Kafka is just like a unique case. Like I thought this little tiny like kaiju entering his body, like, and then when he transformed into a kaiju, he wasn't one of the big ones. He's just kind of like a small human one. Like I thought he was gonna be just kind of a mid kaiju, but it turns out he's like one of the top ones. So like I don't think it'll be like the same case as this, like as Kafka, if we do see some other ones. Pope, what do you think?
Um, I'm looking forward to seeing more uh allies and characters like the director and his daughter.
Mm,
Um, because remember this is I believe they're just their squad. What did it? I think they go by squads or units, right?
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That means there has to be other squads and units. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And I believe that that might be one of the reasons for the director's drive to be so strong, because he is the director. So he needs to be that strong because he is the top dog of that unit, that district. I believe that there are others. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing more kaijus like Kafa. I
Mm.
believe there are going to be more. I honestly, I feel like there is someone, not something. There's definitely someone. It's got to be a human who perhaps has perfectly merged with a kaiju and is sitting here sending out other kaijus to take over humans to do
Hmm.
diabolical work. I believe that the one that Kafa perhaps interacted with, um, I think Kafa just has something special about him that he probably doesn't even know, because how it is that you can't pull out any type of battle power, yet you're one of the strongest humanoid kaijus out here. You know, there's got to be something special about him. I hope they go more in depth in season 2, but I'm looking forward to seeing more like him, because I mean they had to fight the other kaiju. I think that was the number 9. um
Yeah.
and then you have the other one who's running around that's doing weird experiments and stuff, and almost killed the director's daughter. So there has to be more of them out there. There has to be. It can't just be this, and then it can't just be this group of defense individuals that are just that OP. It can't be. There has to be more of them. And I think these guys are just the gateway to others that are probably super strong.
Alright. I think what's his name? To add to Pope's point, I think the Reno. I think he's gonna become like one of the top guys, and I think he's gonna get like his own unique weapon, and become like stronger enough. Like maybe not like the director's daughter strong, but like up there, like a cut above the rest of them, and get his own unique weapon.
I think he's gonna be like Mina. He's very focused on that like presenting buffs to his weapon, like ice, fire. He's very focused on that idea. So I kind of expect something like Mina. He might even just get a better version of a rifle.
Mm.
Mm,
I kind of see that with him.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
This is my new
Spe-
rifle. It's got a
yeah,
grenade launcher on it.
yeah, or specialty pistols with customized ammo.
Mhm.
That could be,
Mm.
that could be pretty good, because the pistols, is lightweight. You can carry more of them, but the ammo itself is destructive, because they, like you said, that was what he was all about. He was the one that first was introducing the different types of ammos and what they can do, and he was being very technical about it. Yeah, I can see him getting a specialty weapon.
Or maybe he'll create his own type of ammo.
There you go. That was the
Mm.
next. Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
next step. Yeah, because he seems like that type. He definitely seems like that type to come up with something, to help aid. Um, yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
think the
All
excited.
director's
right.
daughter is probably going to be a captain, and he might end up being a vice captain. Reno, is that what you? Did I say it right?
Uh, yeah, that's a good theory. I like that.
Yeah, because she definitely has captain quality. She might, you know what? Because of her, they might even do like a special unit, like a little sub unit. A
Mm.
hit squad of 3. Her, Cafe, and probably Reno, maybe 4. Add another one in there. I can see that happening because
Mm.
she is a beast.
Yeah.
She is a monster, and having a technical individual like Reno as a backup with specialty rounds or something, and then you've got a powerhouse. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see them being a hit squad and getting sent out on quiet missions, like a scouting party. We heard there's a
Mhm.
high level kaiju, go investigate the area, just investigation. If you find anything, report back. And of course, Kafa runs into the motherfucker and they just get to thumping and shit. you know. So I can see that happening. That would be pretty cool if they took that direction for her, because she is special.
Yeah,
Definitely is special.
to add to your point, they created that axe for her because they stated she's like the third strongest in the whole unit or squadron or whatever. And I'm
Hmm.
thinking they included the vice captain and the captain
And the
in
captain,
that list.
absolutely.
So
They
she's actually
absolutely,
the
yeah.
third strongest behind the vice captain,
The
you
vice
know.
captain, absolutely, yeah.
Um,
And I mean, the vice
That is
captain said it when they saw her combat power initially unleashed. You know, she said that she was higher than I think it was it most corporals or whatever it was, and he was like, Jesus, slow down. So their combat, I mean, he can unleash his combat power to what was it? I think it's 90. What was it
92
again?
for the vice
92?
captain, 96 for the
92.
captain.
Okay, yeah. So she initially was at like in the 40s, and that
Hmm.
was day one. That was testing day.
Yeah,
So
she matched Mina, the real captain.
okay, see.
Um,
okay. Well, now I just got 4 questions. But let's start off with my first one. We know that they are unleashing power, but if we were to take, let's say, 2 separate people unleashing 100% power, but one of them without the suit is stronger than the one but with the suit. Um, oh yeah, if you took both suits off of them and one of them was stronger than the other, and then you were to put them both with the suit on, if they were both at 100% power, would they equal out, or do you think there are going to be levels of 100% power?
I think there'll be
Does that
levels
make any
of
sense?
100% power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely understood what you said. I think it'd be levels because the suit is an enhancer.
Hmm.
So I definitely feel like if you take someone that can unleash 100% combat power, and you said without the suit.
Without the suit, they're stronger already than without the suit, they're stronger than the other person. But if they
Hmm.
both put on the same suits, and everything's equal, but they both went to 100%, one would be stronger than the other. Do you think that's possible?
Yes, I
Yeah, I
think
would
so.
say so. Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Uh, um, I'm thinking like
Because it's
bring it back to like Dragon Ball Z. Like you take two Saiyans, both turn Super Saiyan. Like one's stronger than
mhm,
the other.
yeah.
I mean, it could also just be like let's just say as an example that they both are put like at an equal playing field. I feel like at that point it would just come down to like experience.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
Um.
can you say that though?
What, that it would come down
In,
to experience?
because if you look at Kafa versus the director, who
Mhm.
has more experience?
Yeah, the director.
And Kafa, based off of his instincts and his kaiju power, was able to withstand and even started fighting back. So I don't know if necessarily based off of experience. I feel that if there's some type of unleashed potential, that in itself, right?
Mhm.
Because you let's look at Jiren versus Goku, right? They're both experienced fighters, but once Goku went UI, the tables completely turned. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
that potential, that potential that you have, that makes the difference. I can't say necessarily experience. I feel like potential um can overcome experience.
Hmm.
Experience may help you survive. Let's say, okay, I'll say this. I believe that potential can outdo experience, but experience has the potential to let you survive a final blow from a potential attack. Let's just say, let's say for example, right? We've got Gohan going beast. That's potential unlocked, right? But
Mhm.
he's fighting shit. Whis. That's experience. I don't give a fuck what you say. That's an angel. He has
Yeah.
infinite. years, whatever, eons of experience. He's trained destroyers and seen them come and go. Um, at that point in time, I would say like, yeah, Whis' experience is gonna help him survive this encounter, but Gohan's potential, right, is going to overpower Whis in some type of way. That's just my take on it. If you kind of understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
definitely see what you're saying. Like the experience part will help you survive. That's what happened with the vice captain against Kaiju number 10. Like he just basically held his own until the real captain came up and then handled business.
And that was based off of experience, but he was getting overpowered and he could have potentially died.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me this: why does the father remind me of Have you guys played Tekken at all?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why does the father remind me of Hinhachi or not Jin? Who is it? Hey, how did I forget his name? The son of the son of Hinhachi. Kazuya. Why
Kazuya.
does
There
he?
you
Why does he remind me of that? Like every time I see him, I'm like, it must be the eyebrows. It looks too
Yeah.
much like it. Like,
He actually reminds me. So like in the manga, he reminded me more of Brian Fury.
Brian Fury.
Mm.
Oh,
Mhm.
the silver-haired guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Always throws a metal beam,
Yes.
or was it a 2x4? Across 2x4. Across that.
Whatever works, man.
And after that, that tiger. What's up with that tiger?
Oh yeah, I have
man.
no idea.
Her special pet.
Like, because that tiger is taking out kaiju on its own. Okay,
Yeah,
like that's a
that's
bit
true.
outrageous. But we don't see nothing on the tiger either. So, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no backstory on her other than they grew up together and knew each other, and she got into the defense force, and she's got a big gun and a big tiger. Big cat. I'm sorry, a big gun and a big cat. The cat, yeah, that tiger definitely has the ability to take out kaiju, and not the small type either. You know, they're pretty
Yeah.
big.
I imagine the tiger's for her. You know, she says she's got bad awareness, so I imagine that's what it's for. But like
Mm,
that raw power is unexplainable. We haven't seen anything on that.
yeah, that's true.
Did you
That's
have
all I
any
got
other
right now.
questions?
That's all I got at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking now's probably a good time to move on to the next segment. We can give our final thoughts on Kaiju number 8. I think it was a great anime. Like, you know, I saw like very little glimpses from Pope King's stream. And once I watched it, like after like 1 to 2 episodes, I was like immediately hooked. For all the viewers out there that have not seen Kaiju number 8, I think you all should check it out. It's really full of action, great animation, good story. You guys will probably be hooked as well. What are you guys' final thoughts on Kaiju number 8?
I'm certainly gonna read the manga. Read it before, but forgot like where I. So I'm certainly gonna keep reading past the anime on the manga, and probably just catch up with the anime, see how how they did it.
I would also recommend it. Fun little fact about it: they designed Kafka's, you know, like his kaiju suit, basically not his kaiju, but his actual kaiju. They designed him to be basically a blue Tron demon.
Blue Tron demon. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so they wanted to make him look like a demon, and they were just like, how do we make him look different from other demons? And they got inspiration from the movie Tron. So he's a blue Tron demon.
That's cool.
I like that. Yeah.
Pope, final thoughts?
Jeez, I am excited for season 2. I'm ready for season 2. I'm actually gonna go and rewatch the last episode uh, since in my personal opinion, that had the most epic fight in season one. Um, I think it's a great anime. Once again, it's one of those animes that's a filler for me. Um, but I definitely did enjoy it.
Mm.
Absolutely.
That's one of those dope ass Bleach filler seasons.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now
It's a good in between.
That was nice. I like that.
We
All
almost made it, bro. We almost made it.
All right. I'm gonna read a little bit of the chats. Nothing too prevalent of what we were talking about. Let's see. Stuff Central called us nerds. He's the homie, so he's just trolling us.
It's all right to be a nerd, man. Ladies love that shit. Like talking about. Hey.
Baluman from Rumble says tastes like chicken. I think when we were talking about eating Godzilla
Oh, Godzilla.
earlier, yeah, he said tastes like chicken. Then Stuff Central said, I heard the anime was good. It's on my list. Yeah, you should definitely watch it.
Definitely
All the
check it
viewers
out.
out there, so fire. And then
Yes, absolutely.
Cool Frog gave us the peace sign. What's up, Cool Frog? All right, now for the final segment. I think Seven Ninja. Where did you post the trailer?
It's in your personal chats.
Oh, it's in the DMs.
I put them both in the personal chat. Yeah.
Oh, got it. All right, cool. All right, so for the first trailer, oh shit, pause that. All right, share screen. All right, let me know when you guys can see that.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Watching.
Cool, cool. All right, let me pause my music real quick.
Oh, Suno. All right. I see. I see.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started.
This is gonna be great!
You bet.
I hope we find them soon.
Look!
Incredible. I've never heard of a Karatnoth herd this big before.
One of them's got big spikes on its back.
Now to lead it away from the pack. We'll make for the desert.
Right. The sandstorm. Now commencing the hunt by order of the guild.
Baby Kern said from Twitch said the dark haired girl looks like Mia Khalifa.
as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody's talking about that blonde chick. What I've been seeing.
Oh, that's heat. Oh, this is Monster Hunter? Holy shit.
Mhm.
I have to go back and check
I feel
that
like this is
that
like
dark haired
Monster Hunter
girl.
World too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mia
Yeah.
Khalifa.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right.
That's crazy.
With 7 Ninja, do you want me to play the second one, or should we
I
just
mean, we
comment
could.
on this one first?
Why don't we talk about? Let's comment on this one.
All right.
Yeah, comment on this one. So first thing I see is like we get to see our character talk. Our characters talk somewhat in battle, but in the actual cutscenes and the actual game, actual like story, they're actively speaking. Like, oh my god, it's a new thing,
Yeah.
revolutionary. Like, what's going on?
That was the thing that actually
So
stood out to me too. It's like an active story in this game versus like the previous ones were just missions. Go hunt this monster. Go explore this area and kill what you need for resources. Like the active story did stand out to me too.
it's like I feel like this is like because they were talking about like a Monster Hunter World 2, and it's like this feels like that when everything kind of sits like that. What I'm thinking is probably gonna happen is if especially we based it off of World. I don't know if you guys have played World, but
Mhm.
in World it was more like an ecosystem where you could walk anywhere. Like the average beast isn't just gonna attack you for no reason. Like you don't strike them, you're probably fine.
Mhm.
You could go fishing and you'll be all right. You could mess with any of the small monsters, nothing will happen. Um, and I feel like they're gonna make it feel like a living world. Everything
Hmm.
about what we saw so far felt like a very living world. But I'm also seeing something that says that we're not going to have any loading zones. It's just going to be straight. We got the village over there. Don't lead no monsters to the village. And once you leave the village, you could probably see fights and stuff going on the outside, not players or anything. Maybe there's some hunters out there fighting, but for the most part, we're gonna basically see a world of there are things going on. It's not just you, and things are probably going to be happening. Like events are probably might even happen that happen within the world without you doing anything.
Hmm. I
Yeah, I
could
can
see
see that.
that
There's also the double
Mhm.
weapon idea.
Yeah.
because the only one I have experience with is Monster Hunter Rise, and that one was first on the Switch, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
they had like limited software to work with. So they had to like if you go on a mission, there was like a loading screen, and then you just transport to another world, enter like a small little world area, whatever you want to call it, fight some monsters, fight a big monster if you want to. So this one doesn't look like it's starting out on the Switch. This looks like it's for like the more powerful consoles, PS5,
Yep.
Xbox
Oh yeah.
X, PCs, you know. This looks like this
Mhm.
one has like some more detail, like it might be even like more of an open worldish type of game, I want to say, you know, which kind of ties to our first segment. But it looks like it's got story too into it, so kind of have like a good hybrid of open world and storytelling, a linear story path a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, yeah, it's like one of my biggest gripes that has always been with Monster Hunter is that it feels very almost repetitive. Like you go
Hmm.
to a zone, you fight the monster, you get the drops, then you go and do whatever you need, and then you pretty much have to go back to that monster and keep fighting it until it drops what you need. But adding a little bit of like open world to it, like like if it's actually like a growing ecosystem where it's like, hey, I got to get from point A to point B to fight this monster. There's there's truth in the thing of like it's about the journey, not the destination sometimes.
Mm.
So if we could
Mhm.
make it into like an actual ecosystem where it's like I can see these monsters kind of fucking roam, and some of them won't attack me, some of them will if I do like specific things, or like you said, like there's events going on. Like every now and again, this one really big monster comes out only like once a month to do like I don't know, like um hunting or something, and you have to be there to go and fight it. Like that would be really fucking cool. Um, so no, and like you said, like hearing your character actually say something outside of just like he's over there or something like that, like it looks great. Like it looks like it's gonna be real good.
Mhm.
Also, just want to point out that the Mia Khalifa girl, her name's Alma.
Alma.
That's crazy.
How do you spell that? OLMA?
MIA. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah. It's ALMA.
ALMA.
Mhm. But
Wow,
honestly, like
bro.
it's just it seems like there's a lot there. Like,
Mhm.
and the graphics make it feel like every time we see like a new console, we're always like, it looks closer to real life. But this one, like, especially if I look at like not Rise, but like Worlds at this one, like we're getting pretty close. It feels like, and I gotta say, even looking at like the frogs and stuff, like you know what frog thing, it looked like I could see its pores. Matter of fact, it looked like I could see like what makes that monster.
Mm.
Like you could tell they went more in depth.
Mhm.
Of course, this
Yes.
is also an example of like realism doesn't take away from the game situation.
Mm. Pope, what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on the game off the first trailer?
To be honest with you, after that trailer, I probably would get Monster Hunter. Because I was just looking at it, I was like, holy
One of us.
shit. Yeah, no, I probably would. Monster Hunter Wild, hell yeah, hold on. I got big motherfucking big swords. You feel me? It gave me Elden Ring vibes a little bit. Like you could call your
Mm.
horse. You know what I'm saying? These giant creatures are attacking you. It looks like you could parry, the deflect, block. It's
Hmm.
looking like you've got light and heavy attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that definitely gives me Elden Ring vibes. I think that if I had seen that trailer, you know, I think fuck, I'll be like, yeah, damn, I gotta get this game. It looks fucking cool. Um, yeah, I mean, are your characters customizable? Like, can I change
Yes.
outfits? Yeah, I
Mhm.
can do all of that.
Yes.
Yep.
So I could be.
Now when it comes to like customization, there is like a period in every game so far where it's like you get to have layered armor, and then there's like regular armor. Regular armor will have like your skills and stuff on there, but layered armor is basically your customization. So you could like make like a fire monster's outfit look like be on a water monster's outfit. So that's basically what you could do. But usually it's like a little bit later on in the game for that to actually happen. But you can
Mm.
customize the look of your face, your body type depending on the game, you could kind of do something like that.
Hmm, it's not bad.
And then they got a bunch of weapons to choose from. You got the long sword, you got the great sword. I
Elden
personally
Ring
love
vibes.
the
You got the
I per-
gun spear.
yeah, I personally love the dual blades. You got like a charge blade, like a hammer, like some bow guns, stuff like that. You got a lot to work with.
Yeah, that's interesting. That sounds like hours of gameplay. Just
Definitely.
up
And
my
then
alley.
on top of that, like once you get like let's say you choose the great sword, right? Like the really big one. You can even like there's like different types of great swords down the line that you can choose like more of a fire type, a water type great sword, and then on top of that, you can like even upgrade them further on like past like that first initial fire type great sword or something like that, which is pretty cool.
Not bad.
Churro, are you
All
still
right.
there? Your avatar disappeared. He might be having technical difficulties. Seven Ninja, did you have something?
Okay. Well, I was gonna say something sure, but so favorite weapons so far out besides dual blades. Favorite weapon so far. And I'll start with mine. Um, so I'm a bowgun user. I use both of them. But outside of those, my favorite one had to be. What?
Yeah, that's true.
Please,
He might be having
I said
technical
Churro.
difficulties.
Yeah. But outside of the bowguns, I think I tried out longsword. Now longsword plays like a katana. Like when you think of like a samurai, they're putting their sword in the sheath, preparing for the perfect strike, um, like that kind of thing. That's what it is. Very timing heavy. Like you want to parry a lot too. It's a very timing heavy weapon, but it's very rewarding. I'd
Hmm.
say. Cool. Favorite weapon besides dual blades.
I really like the great sword, just like how much damage it does. But like, I switched out of that one because like the attack animations are way too long. Like I could be like starting up like my swing and like I'm the boss I'm fighting is in perfect position to be hit, and then like as I'm like mid swing, it's like started up its attack animation at me, and like I'm not gonna hit it first, so like cause just how slow the damn thing is, and like I'm like trying to like dodge out of it, but I'm stuck in it, so I can't dodge out of it. I just get hit first, so that really bugged me, but that is my like second choice.
So like Pope, they literally say like 5% of your attacks are what you hit with a great sword. It's like 5% of your attacks are what you hit with, like on average.
Hmm.
That's his issue. That's his.
Mm, damn.
You gotta set him up constantly.
Yeah. That's
I
yeah.
feel like Squall, you would have liked Hammer though. I feel 100% you would have loved Hammer.
I think I
It does
did
pretty
try
good
that.
damage, but you're worried about you're like more focused on like knocking them out. And I think that
Mm.
impact of knocking something out is something you would love.
Mm. Yeah, I do like
Mhm.
strong moves, but I also like quick weapons that I can just kind of like freely move and dash out the way whenever I need to. Uh, Baby Kern says the fact that y'all agree that that dark-haired chick looks like Mia Khalifa means we're heathens.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta agree. I gotta agree. The fact that we all know who the fuck she is, gang. That's the problem. That was the first mistake. I should have pretended. Who is that? What? I've never heard of her. Is she Arabian?
Oh,
And then he said he asked is her name Alma Khalifa?
I'm dead. The Khalifa family, chill. Imagine.
He did say there's 14 weapon types for wilds, and we'll get to bring 2 of them on the hunts instead of just one. So that's kind of cool, actually. So we can bring like a great sword
I'm not
and
gonna
dual
stop using a
swords.
bowgun. I'm gonna probably carry both bowguns. I'm gonna be real with you. Like melee is just not for me, bro. I like it's something like in me that like whenever I play a game like that, if we were playing like God Eater, I don't know if you guys ever played God Eater, but like God Eater allows you to like switch your weapon into like from gun to blade. If we were playing
Mhm.
that, like I'd have to. But like when I'm playing Monster Hunter and I look at these melee players and they're getting thrown like 5 miles away from me, I'm like, why would I not use a gun? It makes so much sense. Like it's crazy.
Well, what if he catches up to you and starts going to town on you? You still gonna stick to the
I don't
gun,
think
or?
I don't think you realize how much I dodge. Like I don't think you understand. Like if you when you get to a point where you're able to see advanced all mother Narwa, you're gonna find that a lot of people can't fight that thing. A lot of people can't fight that thing. And I had to go into solo just to fight that thing. And that's where I had learned, like I knew my fighting style before, but I learned my fighting style when I fought her. Because it was like, she's not hard. but you could get one shot at any moment, like even on melee. So like, it's not something you have to do, but it's certainly a good test for your skill, and you'll figure out what I'm talking about there.
And that's a character on that's a boss on Monster Hunter Rise.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up about that first one, or should we show the second one?
Well, it's not really on that first one, but it's more in general. One of the things I do hope that does happen, and I did just say I'm probably going to bring both bowguns, but what I hope happens is that I made a post on Reddit a while back, was I want them to make it so that when I'm fighting a monster, I actively feel like I need to have a melee weapon. And what I mean by that is that like there's going to be I want for a monster to have something where it's like ranged weapons damage get halved. Like shooting it with any form of ranged weapon makes it so that the damage is little, and I need to use a melee weapon for it. Because if you make a monster like that, it actively makes me want to try out all the weapons in the game. But if you make it so that I can literally just go through the whole game with my one weapon, that's all I'm gonna do. And I guarantee you, most players do not switch off their main weapon like that. I guarantee you. But if they make it so that like, let's say I'm fighting something that's melee, hates melee. Like if I'm fighting something that loves to fight melee players, right? Like my gun should be very effective, and that's something I'd like to see. Like just it makes me want to switch. Again, I promise you, I'm going to stick with what works every single time. If you're not going to force me out of that playstyle.
Oh, that makes sense.
Get on the
like
second trailer
weapons like that are specific, like special damage to certain monsters.
Yes. Any word from Churro?
He said he lost power. My neighborhood lost power. I don't know when it'll come back. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right. Well,
hop on second trailer.
All right, second trailer it is.
What y'all think of the surrounding world? I'm just gonna look at it.
It seems very dark, and I kind of like it. All right, let me pause this again. All right, let me know when you guys can see that.
I'm watching.
Same.
All right, cool.
Oh. Okay. Oh no, actually definitely looks like Maya Khalifa. Sorry.
Why are you here?
You can't do this alone.
Oh, well, I was asleep now.
We need to shake them off. Follow me. Yeah. Here it comes.
I'm
I'm trying
sold.
to determine if they're worms or not.
I'm sold. After this, I'd pre-order.
Just for that clock.
I don't even need to see the fighting mechanics. I'm sold.
They're not worms.
Yeah, this
I'm
looks good.
sold.
Are they spinning?
Yes, I'm sold.
They're drilling through the
They're spinning, they're spinning, they're diving, they're jumping. I'm sold.
And this is that was actual gameplay too.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's actual gameplay. What? Oh. Yeah.
As I feared, it picked up our scent.
That's a cutscene.
You find someplace safe.
Oh, 1v1? Say that. Yup. Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. You got the big. Okay. Oh, on your ass.
I love that they're using the environment a lot more.
Damn.
I like the little pet they're using to ride on.
Oh,
Oh, that is sick. That's some
Oh,
kaiju number 8
shit.
shit right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry, the hunter is here.
That's final transformation.
Yeah, that trailer was nice.
I feel like that trailer was better than the first one.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2025 though.
Man, I don't know. That's a while.
I'll kill
I,
Little Helper.
I think I might get into Monster Hunter now because of that.
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, you could
Now,
tell
the
they really
closest to that
upscaled
game
the.
is World.
Man, or Goku.
You can tell they really
Like, the
upscaled
closest
the
to that game
graphics
is
on that
World.
one.
My bad.
Oh no, go ahead.
All right, I'll go then. The closest game to that's gonna be World. If you're gonna try Monster Hunter, try to get like wild, I feel like it's gonna be World. Now, if we're talking about the dogs and stuff, that's gonna be Rise. Now, I'd say Rise has a better game feel, but if we're going off what I see, I think it's gonna be Monster Hunter World.
Mm-hmm.
So that's if you're interested in jumping in, Hope, consider that.
Yeah. So
Oh, are you on
basically,
PlayStation?
I am.
Do you have a PlayStation Extra at least?
PlayStation
Extra.
Extra. What do you mean, like
The
PS
the
the PS
tier
Plus?
of PlayStation Plus. Yeah,
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I do.
I
I
think
have to check.
Rise is in there right now. I think it's
Oh
Rise is in
really?
there for free right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think it is.
Oh, really quick. So someone popped in my chat, right? And it's only because it's DBZ related. They asked Superman or Goku. So I wanted to pose that question to you guys. What do you guys think?
There's a bunch of videos online saying Superman, and like a bunch of like people debating online saying Superman, but I'm sticking with Goku no matter what.
Goku. That's what I wrote in my chat. I said Goku. The response was Superman in comics can move planets with his bare hands though. And I said my response was same as Goku in Super when he fights Beerus. Because that
Mm-hmm.
is definitely true. And multiple planets with will and
Yep.
key. So yeah, definitely shout out to Lupe. I think I said that right. Loop. Um yeah, this is a great Nimbus debate. If you guys want to check it out, check out Squall Rush on Twitch. He's streaming right now. I'm gonna go ahead and throw your link in there. I'm sorry, I just wanted to pause for a second. We had people in the chat here who's active.
Yeah, no
All
problem. We should probably debate that on the next the
Superman or
Dragon Ball
Goku?
Z debate one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll
do
throw
want to
your
say at
links
least,
in the chat
you know,
too.
it's weird.
Keeker.
It's weird when people power scale though. They're always talking about like lifting feats, but like that's not the same as punching or like grabbing for that matter. It's never the same as punching.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Fighting is always going to be different. Like because I doubt like the strongest man right now could like punch as hard as like
That's true.
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. And Floyd Mayweather definitely can't arm wrestle the arm wrestling champion. It's a whole different muscle. It's a whole different technique. Because I mean, bodybuilding is lifting techniques. Fighting is striking techniques. So it's definitely different. I can agree with you on that.
I do know, like, when he fought Beerus, he was actually putting the whole universe in, like, he was like almost destroying the whole universe, clashing punches with Beerus, because like the whole universe was shaking it with each punch, and Goku had to learn on the spot how to control the punches to not, like, put the whole universe in danger.
In danger, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Other than that, there's like a lot of people that always like to like say, oh, but like this version of Superman is this strong. Oh, Goku can't beat this other version of Superman. Just like, bro, it's not my fault there's like a million different versions of Superman that nobody knows about. Like, all I know is, yeah, all I know is the main Superman that most people know, and all I know is the main Goku that most people know, which I think there's
I feel like that pops up a lot because you had the version of Superman that held up the world when he went and gave Atlas a day off. Um, and we're talking about Atlas from Greek mythology that was imprisoned,
Hmm.
I believe, by Zeus, and he forever had to kneel there and hold the world on his shoulders. And I believe I can't remember exactly how it went, but Superman ended up meeting him, and it was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll try." And that little farm boy, Clark Kent, doesn't even know how long he was there, but he held the world on his shoulders. He felt the weight of the world. That, in comparison to Goku, Goku has the weight of the universe, and that's a weight that he shares with his DBZ family. When the universe is in danger, when they had to deal with Cell, Majin Buu, like how many universal threats does Superman really have to deal with? And which Superman we talking? We talking about Justice League Superman? You know what I'm saying? Like, even still, that's the Justice League versus the Z Fighters. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm putting my money on the farm boy. You feel me? The blood of a Saiyan runs deep, my boy.
Yeah, I'm going with 100% Goku, no matter what.
Yeah, it ain't like Superman got
Goku.
techniques. Ain't no Kamehameha instant transmission. You ain't going to UI Superman. It's over. You know, your laser
He ain't
beams and
even well
ice breath
trained.
can be so much.
Like, it's not
Baby
even well
Kearns.
trained either. So like, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead before I say this one.
I was saying like he's not even well trained, so he's not like he fights, but he's just swinging. You know,
Yeah.
I think they said that he had a martial art, but like it's from a dying planet where you can't really like train with anybody, so he's probably doing it wrong anyway.
I mean, in the
Not
actual
well trained.
movie, when he fought a trained Kryptonian, he was getting his ass handed to him. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
yeah. Superman isn't trained. He's just a farm
hmm.
boy that knows how to throw a solid punch.
Yeah, he's just got the genes. Like
Yeah.
Goku's got the genes and the training.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Goku's a warrior, a
Baby
born warrior.
Kearns. Baby Kerms, he asked, it's also about the context of the fight. Is it to the death? Is it spar? Is it tournament? Is there some big bad that made them think that the other is evil? Honestly, all of them. I'm still picking Goku. I'm a diehard Goku fanboy.
Yeah, nah, Goku's winning that. Even if it's a fight to the death, Goku's still winning that. I mean, they say that Superman holds himself back. So we never really see the true potential, the true strength of Superman, the true speed of Superman. But then again, he's limited. Superman's abilities are as good as the sun. You see what I'm saying? As we're Goku, it doesn't matter where he's at. It could be in the other world, the afterlife, this other planet, that next universe. You know what I'm saying? He's just straight powering up. His power comes from within. You know what I'm saying? Sheer will. Superman, I mean, you put him in a pitch black room, gang, you liable to beat his ass.
Yeah.
No kryptonite. And that too. Goku has no weaknesses other than he leaves himself open. I mean, listen, bro. Let me call Batman. Batman, let me hold that kryptonite glove you've been working on one time. You hear me?
Yeah.
What?
Mm.
And the
Knocking
There's
fact
also
that
like
Superman
I don't
jaw
know.
loose.
I don't know if you guys ever seen like but there's like a comic. I think it's like Spider-Man versus like the Scarlet Spider. Like he's like a chasm or something, and he mentions like how Peter's always holding back, and in some form of way, it's like mentally in him where he's just thinking he's got to do it. It's like in his muscle memory, like he can't be hitting as hard as he wants to. And you
Yeah,
know, like Goku, like Superman's doing that. Superman has to do that all the time. So you imagine
constantly.
like someone
Yeah,
like Goku who's always like, look, I get to fight Vegeta, Gohan, or whatever. I can go as hard as I want to. He's never gonna have that in his mind ever, unless it's like Chi Chi or somebody. But he's never gonna do that on average, and so like Goku's going to win off that alone.
Well, well,
Like,
technically, I think he does because let's say like when they're fighting Boo, or when they're fighting Cell and they're on Earth, it's a thing where
Mhm.
it's like they had to hold back to a certain degree because they didn't want to blow up the planet. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So there were times when it was like you can really, like they would say, you can really let loose. Like when they go in a hyperbolic time chamber, or when they're
It's a
in an
different
area where
planet.
they know there's no casualties, you're
Yeah.
seeing a Saiyan unleash. Like there is no thought of holding back. I'm gonna knock you loose as hard as I possibly can. Gang, you finna duck or get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's always still that too. It's not even necessarily them fighting against another Saiyan, but it's them knowing that there is no collateral damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's really where I think it stands.
Yeah, and
Um,
then Goku also he did that warp Kamehameha on Cell when he was in the
yeah, that was
sky and he was about to like
exactly
blast Cell. Cell was like, "What? From there he's gonna destroy
from
the
the
whole
he's gonna
planet."
destroy the planet.
And then
Exactly.
and
Yep.
then he like teleported right behind Cell to blast upward into the sky at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the fact that Goku can also he can really control his strength too, like the way he just increases and lowers his power level like all the way
Mm-hmm.
down to a minimum at will to like conserve energy. So he really constrains himself and holds back when he needs to.
They
So
all
he
do.
mhm
Gohan, all of them, Vegeta, even Piccolo, every single last one of the Z fighters, with the exception of Krillin and Yamcha, of course, they have the potential to destroy the planet. They all
mhm
have it. Go, you have Trunks, Goten, they all have it, you know?
yeah, but
And it's
they
a
they
constant state of like restraint for them.
they can at
Mhm.
least lower their power level all the way down to a minimum to not
Mm-hmm.
be seen by scouters or sensed or whatever.
That's true too, absolutely.
Yeah. Can we talk about that like mountain range they always go to, where it's like it's just basically brown rocks and stuff? How have they not cleared every mountain and like area? It should be like a plateau out there. You know how many fights they have there on a regular basis?
Destroying
Like they go there
mountains.
to train. There
It's
should be
true.
like nothing there. It's just a plateau.
It should be craters all over the place.
Hang
Like,
on.
and we've seen evidence of that when like Goku's like farming with for Chi Chi, and there's just
Mm.
craters in the ground. So you think there's just be everywhere, just like a plateau of like where it used to be rocks and mountains at.
Yeah, you got a point.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Or
wished
with
it back
all
to normal with the Dragon Balls.
that part, that's really what it is. Because with all the powering ups and stuff they've been doing, like, come on. They've been moving oceans. It should be like completely changed landscapes when these guys are done. That's literally what it is, you know?
Hmm.
See,
Especially when
so,
Broly came and fought them on Earth. Oh my lord.
oh yeah, yeah. When
Man.
Broly came and fought them, they were punching through dimensions and shit with Gogeta.
That part, yeah, because even wasn't there was like, wait, what's this? Yeah,
Yeah, Gogeta
he was
was
in a whole
surprised.
nother dimension, bro.
I got a couple of chats from Baby Kerms and BGM. BGM said he can't wait for Monster Hunter Wilds. He's been playing that with his wife. And then he says he
Nice.
wants BGM. His real name is Black Gaming Man. He's gonna
Gaming,
be joining
yeah.
us. He's gonna be joining us on like the podcasts, like in the upcoming ones. He's really into Dragon Ball Z as well. He's in both Discord servers of mine, so he's been playing some Monster Hunter. But he's a real big Dragon Ball Z fan. Says you got me to play with Pope. I am down. And then
Shout
let's
out to Black
see.
Gaming for real.
Yeah, for real. Baby Kerm says Monster Hunter always has wild collaborations for World. Did a collab with Final Fantasy 14. I'm hoping they run another one with make a costume for the bird dog thing and with into a chocobo. Huh, interesting. And then let's see. BGM, he said, "This is why you all are my boys. I am Dragon Ball all the way." When we brought up Goku versus Superman, so I'm guessing he's on the train that like Goku's better than Superman.
Goku. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
man. Absolutely. I don't care how many multiverse Supermen they have. Let me call what's his name from Heroes? Who's the
All Might.
protagonist again? Fuck, Fu. I'm make a phone call to Fu. Let me go ahead and get GT
Oh.
Goku, Super Goku. You hear me? Now what? And
He
you know,
said,
with those Gokus is coming to Vegeta.
he said that part when you were talking about, I don't care how many versions of Superman there are.
Yeah, bro, for real. Yeah, for real.
Then Baby Kerm said, if it's a spar, I'd argue it's a draw because Goku wouldn't fully trash someone during just spar for training, maybe except for Vegeta. And then he feels like if I
Nah, I
feel
think he would.
he said, I feel like he'd have some respect for Soups and not let him walk away with the full-on loss.
Nah. I mean, look at what the sparring,
Maybe.
how he left Gohan when Gohan was like, Dad, I don't want you to hold back, and Goku went
Mm.
blue with Kaioken. I might, you know what? Some people say Kaioken, some people say Kaioken. It's like tomato, tomato.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, that was Goku's full power, and I mean, it left Gohan unconscious, and that was a sparring match. So,
Mm.
you know,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think Goku will spar you to the point where your ass is you're worn out. He'd leave you. You know what I'm saying? I think so. I don't think he'll try to kill you, so there'll be some type of restraint. But I think that, it'll go to the point, especially if he's better than you, you'll see it in the sparring. You'll see it.
Mhm.
Hey, I'd
Is it-
still take Goku for that one.
Oh, of course. Oh shit, I'll even take Black Goku.
Mhm.
For One Piece, all right.
Is
Then we
that-
kind of went off the rails there. Baby Kerm said, "Okay, but Goku's an immigrant. He be beating on his kids every day." Kind
So
of.
is
So did Piccolo.
Superman. So is Superman. Superman an immigrant too. What you mean?
Yeah.
And Superman ain't got no kids. Something wrong.
When he was sparring with Krillin for a tournament of power, he ain't abused him. That was weird. He went Super Saiyan Blue against Krillin. That was weird to me. And Krillin kept
I
up
think
with
it
him.
was I think it was like, all right, look, like you're my buddy and all, but like we might be facing like tough opponents. What you got
Extinction.
against us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, he's trying to show him this is the level that you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to deal with. Can you handle this, bro? Like, yeah. Yeah, that's homie love right there. It's pretty much he's not letting his friend walk into a situation, and like Goku knows that Krillin, you know what I'm saying? Come on, Goku knows Krillin is
Mm-hmm.
the weakest link. You know what I'm saying? That's the least he could have at least done. Is like, listen, Krillin, remember this aura. This is the feeling of, this is what we're gonna have to deal with. This right here. If this intimidates you, if you're scared of this, if you think you can't handle it, go ahead, gracefully bow out. But if you think you can move forward, push through.
Yeah, very good point.
Bro.
I agree with that.
And Yamcha couldn't handle that. Like they
Of
didn't
course
even
not.
go talk to him. They didn't even know he was there.
Yamcha be getting beat up by a strong wind.
BGM
Oh
says
my lord.
we can't say he is the weakest. He is the strongest human. I think he was the weakest of the 10 they brought to the tournament of power.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
But yeah, definitely he is the
Ian was
strongest human.
training more.
He's the strongest human because
Oh.
I mean that's who they took. But out of all of the Z fighters, he is the weakest. He's
Mhm.
definitely stronger
Weaker
than
than
Yamcha.
Roshi?
You,
I would argue Krillin is stronger than Roshi.
I
Besides
would argue
that,
weaker.
yeah, besides that weird like power up of an ass pull they did with Roshi where he's dodging Jiren and stuff. Other than that, I think Krillin is stronger.
Now, okay, I'm gonna
I think
argue
they said he
that
had
with
UI.
you. You said what?
I think they said he had like UI Omen or like he had like some kind of form of UI Ultra Instinct.
Who, Krillin?
Like no,
Roshi?
Roshi,
Oh.
but he's dodging Jiren because it's like some
Mm-hmm.
kind of because he's. I think they said even in old Dragon Ball he was talking about like fielding with your instinct.
Mm.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past it that he has some sort of UI because I looked it up and Roshi does have Kaioken, like when he died and like from King Piccolo, he just never uses it. So like the fact that he can learn the Kaioken versus Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu when they died and went to King Kai, I don't know if they have it or not. I didn't really look it up, and they just never used it as well. But the fact that Roshi has Kaioken, and I believe he could possibly have UI, a form of it.
Mm.
Baby Kerm says strongest human for Krillin. Tell that to Tien Shinhan's shoulders. I don't. I kind of want to debate this, but like on a different podcast, the Dragon Ball Z focused one, if Tien is human or not, because I don't think he's human. I think he's an Earthling, but I don't think he's human.
I thought they called him a Cyclops.
Yeah, he's
Isn't
like
that
kind of a
Tien?
tricyclops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's human.
Nah, he definitely looks like the offspring of a Cyclops and a uh human woman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Their question: what is a Chaozu?
Mm. Oh man, yeah, yeah. All right. We're getting we're poking too much into the other DBZ podcast. These are all good questions for that one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Superman or Goku? I'm Goku for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah, Goku.
Goku.
Ain't even no discussion about that one, man.
All right, I like you
Final thoughts
guys.
on Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to Monster Hunter Wilds.
I might, yeah. After seeing the second trailer, I'm sold. The first trailer, it was still, that looks like a cool game. Let me play test. Let me see if one of my friends has it, and I'll try to, get a feeling for that. Maybe 30 minutes of playing. But the second trailer sold me. The second trailer
Mm-hmm.
sold me. After that second trailer, I would definitely get that game, sit down and put some hours into it because it looks like it's interesting.
Okay. Me, I definitely I see there's like why there's a big fan base for the Monster Hunter series. I don't think I'll buy it on release. I'd probably have to watch like probably Seven Ninja stream it a little bit. Some of the other homies I met along the way of my streaming career stream it a little bit, give it a few like looks, then I'll probably if if it really looks cool enough from the gameplay, I'll probably buy it too. If not, I'll probably wait till like it goes on sale or something, then cop it. But yeah, other than that, it definitely does look like a worthwhile game to get. What's his name? Baby Kerms. He put it like this: like Monster Hunter Worlds was more of a slower paced game. Monster Hunter Rise is like the more fast paced gameplay style, and Monster Hunter Wilds is like Monster Hunter Worlds, the slower paced gameplay. So I mean, I don't mind that, but I definitely would like to like give it a little bit of a look firsthand before like buying it up like at full price or not.
Yeah.
What about you, Seven Ninja?
Well, the biggest problem I got is getting a PS5. But when I get a PS5, um, guaranteed to get it. There's a lot of games I gotta get.
Mm.
Truth be told, but guaranteed to get that game. Like,
Damn,
it
you've been
just
on
it
PS4
looks
this whole
good.
time?
It looks good. Yeah, it's on PS4.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does look good though. Like the graphics are a huge upscale from Monster Hunter Rise from what I've seen. Like no shade to Monster Hunter Rise, but like you could definitely see it was made from like the Switch first. And like this one
Mm-hmm.
just looks like, yo, this is actual next gen level detail right here. those are my thoughts on it. Did you have anything else like general you wanted to bring up about Monster Hunter 7 Ninja?
Well, honestly, I was planning on bouncing off of Chiro and Keem if they were gonna be here, but Chiro had blackout and we didn't see Kerms, so that's really not hard, easy to do. But nah, I don't really got anything at the moment.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
yeah.
I'll just read the last couple of chats. Uh, BGM says, "Well, he is stronger than Roshi." I think he's talking about Krillin. And then,
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, but okay, hold on. But when you say that, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like physical strength? Are we talking about technique wise? Are we like what are we talking about? Because when you put Krillin next to Master Roshi, you're talking about a wealth of experience versus a student. You're talking about a master and a student. You know what I'm saying? You know what they say? The master doesn't teach you everything he knows. You see what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
doesn't. There's certain things like you as a student, you're gonna learn everything the master teaches you. But does the master actually teach you everything he knows?
well, actually, you know what? Let's talk about this. You know what? Let's go back to remember what you said about Kaiju number 8, how
Mm-hmm.
experience will help you survive, but
Mm-hmm.
the potential was what makes you stronger, like you will win because of the potential,
Okay,
the strength.
absolutely. So are we saying that Krillin has that potential to overtake Roshi, but Roshi's experience is now going to be able to help him survive, which did show in the Tournament of Power, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they had to deal with Frieza, and I think it was the other who was it that Roshi was fighting, where he used
Roshi's
that
fighting some duck
ceiling,
thing.
the ceiling technique.
Oh,
That was
I
experience, and that's something that none of the other fighters, he never taught Goku, he never taught Krillin, he never taught any of them. That's a Roshi specialty.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
feel like with Roshi versus Krillin, I feel like Krillin's got the upper hand on the idea. He knows how perverted Roshi is, and it's just
Hit
like
him with a magazine.
I feel like that's something he'd do. But if we take that out, if we take that part out, all right, let's just that was jokes aside. I feel like Krillin is more prepared for someone like Roshi just because they know each other than like let's say another fighter that from another universe. Like there's certain habits that a teacher has that you'll notice. Like you'll be prepared for that kind of thing. And so even if it's something that you've never seen before, Krillin would more than likely pick that up before, let's say, that duck dude he was fighting. More than likely. That's what I think it would.
For me, I think, let's say, I think Yamcha is stronger than Roshi, but if Yamcha had the experience Roshi had, he wouldn't have died in that Cyberman fight. He wouldn't have turned his back on a downed opponent, because he won the fight, but since he was overconfident, like, yeah, let me take the rest of them Cybermen, and then the Cyberman took the opportunity and just jumped on him and exploded and killed Yamcha. So I think like that's where the experience versus the strength actually comes into play, like those type of moments. But given like Krillin versus Roshi, I think like it's the same thing. Like I'm choosing Krillin in a fight against Roshi.
It really depends on if he sets him up. Like how Goku sets up Jiren, and when he throws that destructive disc through the little cliffside. Like it really depends on how Roshi sets him up. If Roshi's got time, matter of fact, we'll take it this way. It's kind of about like people say like if Batman can prepare for an enemy, he'll always win. I feel like Roshi would win that. I feel like Roshi would win that. But we're talking about straight up fight. I can see it. But if Roshi were to fight Krillin on a one-on-one and an equal playing field, no traps ahead of time, I believe 100% Roshi would lose. He'd have to have something ready. I truly believe that.
I'd have to disagree on that for the simple fact that Roshi has something Krillin doesn't, which is that transformation. That's
Oh yeah, the buff Roshi.
Yup. And on top of that, I know Roshi's Kamehameha is stronger than Krillin's. Now Krillin, I think, doesn't he have like the bending Kamehameha? Wasn't Krillin the one that introduced that?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, he has the bending
think-
Kamehameha.
Do you
But
think he'd take that Kamehameha on?
Who? Roshi?
Do you think Krillin would stand there and let Roshi hit him with that? You know, a lot of DBZ characters will, I want to test out this blast. I'm gonna hold it in there. But like, I feel like
I don't-
17 with Rip Ryan, I think Krillin would get out the way.
I don't think that they have it in them to do that because number one, they don't have the type of body to withstand that blast. They're humans.
Mhm.
They don't have the Saiyan genes, the Saiyan body, that makeup that's tough that could withstand beam blasts. They don't have that.
Well, based on that idea, I feel like Krillin would probably tire him out. I feel like that's what probably would happen because Krillin's squirrely.
Yeah,
Krillin is
but
squirrely.
but at the same time, I feel like Roshi would exert the minimal amount of energy in order to combat Krillin, and that's just pure technique. It's like I don't want to say yin and yang, or but it's pretty much using your opponent's what's the word I'm looking for? Jesus, not force.
Did you put much power against them?
Yeah, it's in a sense, yeah. So it's like using their own movement. So if you're rushing forward, I'm just gonna sidestep and twist. You feel me? But your momentum, that's the word I'm looking for. It's pretty much, I feel like Roshi would use Krillin's momentum against him. You see what I'm saying? Like he just pretty much use his energy against him. So Roshi wouldn't necessarily be exerting his own energy and force as much as he would just be using Krillin's own energy and force against him. So it's a lot of deflecting, a lot of dodging, and I feel like that uses minimal energy.
All right, guys, this is Black Gaming Man. Black Gaming Man wanted to hop on and join us in this Dragon Ball Z debate. Let's see.
BG, what's the word?
What's good, y'all?
Yeah.
Cracking. So right now we're talking about Krillin versus Roshi. Who you got, BGM?
If we being for real, I got Krillin. I think Krillin is the one who's gonna beat that experience that you're talking about with Roshi. And honestly, when you really think about it, Roshi has not truly, like, he's been still training. Don't get me wrong, he trains constantly, but secretly so does Krillin.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, Krillin has been constantly coming up with new techniques. I mean, let's look at the way he did what he did for the Tournament of Power fight between him and Goku before the Tournament of Power even started. How he used the environment to his advantage. So, like, for me, I have to go with Krillin. I gotta think Krillin's gonna beat Roshi.
You know, I actually agree with that. Like, to add to your point, dang, my camera's getting all weird. But to add to your point, he did that with Frieza too. He was severely outclassed against second form Frieza. Like when he got revived first by Dende, threw the Destructo Disc, cut off a piece of Frieza's tail, and he was using like the little rocks to like get around and confuse Frieza to like stay alive.
He is squirrely, okay?
Yeah, he's definitely squirrely. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm gonna stand alone on this one. I'm going with the old man. I just feel like even, I mean, okay, even if you take out the preparation time, because then if he's not prepared, that takes away one of his techniques, which is the sealing technique, which he needs an item. Okay, and that's a setup. So if we're saying no setup, then he's losing one technique, but he still has the Kamehameha, which I believe he is the originator of. He still has his enhanced form that gives him more speed and strength than the average human. Yeah, Krillin, you know, when you look at Krillin, you know, Tournament of Power Krillin, I mean, he was a dad that hadn't trained in how long, and he just had to get his battle sense back, which is, you know, what Goku helped him with. And when you look at his performance in a Tournament of Power, I'm sorry, but I feel that Roshi did better against his enemies than Krillin did. Krillin also had help from 18, which played a major factor in my personal opinion. Yes, he did outsmart his enemy towards the end, but at the same time, I feel like Roshi contributed more, because you know you do have that experience. You know, Roshi is the master. He taught Krillin. Yes, Krillin can get different techniques. He can do this. He can do that. He can be unique in his own in his own right. But when you're putting a master versus a student, I don't think that Krillin is getting up to that level of surpassing the master. I don't believe so. I think Roshi is still going to beat him, preparation or not. Hell, if Roshi has time to prepare, it's even worse, because the end game is just going to be Krillin getting sealed. If Krillin somehow does outdo Master Roshi, which I just don't see it happening.
Well, you gotta remember too, though, the student can beat the master. The student can surpass the master, and I believe, and like I said, this is personal. You know what I mean? This is personal, but I personally believe that he has already shown that potential of surpassing Roshi. I'm not saying that he surpasses him in every way. There are going to be certain aspects where Roshi has him. That buff power-up form, yeah, he got him. But at the same time, we've also been shown that buff power-up form really doesn't improve speed, it just improves strength. So, like, though there's aspects that, yeah, I completely see where you are coming from, and I agree exactly with you too. But for Krillin, to me, he's proven more. He's proven more at this point. Roshi was already old by the time when we first met Roshi, so all he really had to do was just train at this point. But Krillin has proven over time that I'm that nigga. Let's be real. I'm that boy. Like, I might not show it all the time because there's situations that might knock me out, but I ain't no Yamcha. No disrespect to Yamcha, because there's so many Yamcha fans.
Man, we disrespecting Yamcha over here. Fuck that.
I'll stick up for Yamcha. I got faith in him.
Man, yeah, all right. Yamcha ain't sticking up for himself.
Like I said, there's no disrespect to Yamcha. I ain't trying to disrespect him because there's plenty of Yamcha fans. But even with TN2, he outbeats TN because you gotta Gohan prove something else too that Krillin kind of just enhanced. You gotta think on your feet for that for the Tournament of Power. And Krillin proved to Goku, I can think on my feet if I need to. But just like anybody, let's be realistic. If all four of us were in the Tournament of Power, something would happen that would make us slip up and probably make us fall out, potentially, or knock us out. There's always that possibility. But Krillin has proven that I don't need to be the strongest. But if I can outwit you, then boom, I got you right there. And I think, I don't remember completely because it has been a minute since I watched that, but I think he did get one person out, didn't he? Or did he just get?
Yeah, he did. But
so like he's kind of proven that a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
But I feel like that proves my point though, in a way, because if we're looking at thinking on your feet, Roshi is the embodiment of that. The enemy Roshi was fighting was, I wouldn't say severely, but definitely stronger than him in TOP. And he pulled it out. I'm gonna seal your ass. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, Roshi's got the tricks up his sleeve. Roshi knows that as a fighter, I may encounter someone who is stronger than me, faster than me. I need to outsmart them. You know, that's something that he taught them. Well, not Goku. Goku is just full blown like a brute. It just does not matter. I'm gonna fight him. He's stronger than me. It doesn't matter. But I mean, you know what? I feel like it's definitely a great argument, but I just see Master Roshi not being outclassed by the squirrely Krillin. I can't see it. I just don't. I see Roshi. Yeah, I see Roshi sealing Krillin bald-headed ass away. That's what I see. That's all I'm saying.
I see, and I get your point on that. I do. I really do. I get your point on that because the Mofuba ain't no joke.
It ain't.
Let's be real.
Yeah, it's really not.
Mofuba ain't no damn joke.
And you can't break out of it.
True, unless you break the bottle or someone unseals it. Like that's the only two ways that you got.
Yep, because Vegeta got sealed, and it was a wrap. With all of that cosmic energy he had, he was stuck.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. If you take the Mofuba out of it, like I'm going with Krillin, but yeah, definitely the Mofuba trumps anything Krillin can do. That's my personal take on it.
Anything, period.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it does. You can't, because once you get caught on that, I don't know if there's a power up that you can do to break out of it. Because once he gets you in that, that's pretty much it. And we're not even talking about actually going into. Actually, no, you have to have the strength, because that was the issue with Master Roshi when he was doing it. I think again, or it was like the second time or something like that. His shoulder gave out. And that, I think that kind of threw the technique off. So I think the user just has to have the physical strength, it seems like, and the willpower to actually pull that technique off.
I think he died when he used it against Demon King Piccolo, because he just didn't have enough strength or whatever to use it.
Yeah.
Roshi's infinite. Let's just be real.
He is, right? He was an old man when he was teaching them, and he's an old man now in TOP. That's crazy. Like,
well,
that's kind of crazy.
He's immortal. Like, not like immortal in the sense he can't die from damage, but like he just can't die from old age. Because I looked it up in a previous podcast. He drinks like a water or something that keeps him from dying of old age. So he can
immortal.
Yeah, he can live till whenever, as long as he keeps drinking it after a certain period of time.
So he's not invincible.
I thought it had something to do with his and correct me if I'm wrong, his sister Baba. I thought it had something to do with his sister Baba, because isn't she like the same thing? She don't really die either.
Yeah, she's old as fuck too. Maybe she's drinking it too. Let me look it up. See.
Isn't she in the spirit realm?
Yeah, she's in the spirit realm. I think she operates primarily there because she was like a help for them. I think when Goku had to go deal with, who was it? Frieza, when he went to go get Frieza from the afterlife, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's the only one that transitions though from the spirit realm to
Earth realm.
Right?
Yeah. She's like a guide. I think something like that to that degree.
I'm not finding anything on if Baba drank the Fountain of Youth water. Just shows like Roshi drank it.
I didn't even know Roshi drank some sort of Fountain of Youth water.
Yeah, I looked that one up like in one of the recent podcasts. So I just barely learned of that one too.
Why doesn't he die?
Mm-hmm.
It's like for real.
All right,
Goku's grown up, got kids. His kids got kids, and Roshi is still chasing tail. Like what?
The giant river dies.
If we're
hold
done,
on, Squall, hold on.
oh yeah, go ahead, Seven Ninja.
BGM. We just talked about Monster Hunter Wilds. How do you feel about it? You gotta let us know.
I'm elated. I personally can't wait for it. My wife is the exact same way. She can't wait for it too. I was listening to the podcast early, a little bit when you all were talking about it, and I see it. I've listened and I've also heard different things from other like YouTubers and stuff like that. That it is literally, it's the mixture of Rise and World. It's the mixture, and for me, it's a in between. It gives you. It's not going to be like Squall said. It's not going to be as fast as World, but I mean as Rise. It's not going to be as fast as Rise, but just like what you said, Seven, it's going to be closer to the World aspect, look wise, probably feel wise, but I personally can't wait. I'll be copping that day one. That is a day one game I'm copping. I will probably I'll probably make another character and stream that other character, and then also play with my main character with my wife and my friends. But yeah, to me, that game is going to be. I personally think that's going to be Capcom's second top selling game, because the first, weirdly enough, was Monster Hunter World.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Now that we got a Monster Hunter specialist in here, I think you had some other questions you wanted to bring up or topics about it. Seven Ninja, you can bounce off of BGM.
All right. So BGM, we know Squall uses dual blades. What else do you think Squall needs to try out? What do you think? When you see him, you see what he's done, his playstyle. What else do you think he could handle?
Switch Axe. I think you would like Switch Axe, because Switch Axe is not. It's not like super fast like the dual blades, but at the same time, it's not slow like the greatsword. It's right in that middle, and it's going to give you damage closer to the greatsword, but with a little bit more of the speed of the dual blades.
Okay, I like it. I'll definitely give that a try next.
Pope, I know you haven't played Monster Hunter, but you might have a playstyle that you play on most games. What is that playstyle?
Like on Elden Ring, for an example.
Let's go with that.
Shoot, I could tell you that. I've been watching that man play so much Elden Ring lately.
Maybe we can give him a weapon he could probably use based on that. He may not be here.
Pope.
Oh
yeah, because I remember.
Hey, my bad. I had to go run deal with the kids for a second. I'm back. I'm so sorry. I'm back.
No worries. So we were asking you about your playstyle on Elden Ring, and like what possible weapon would you choose on Monster Hunter Wilds if you were to get it? Because I remember watching you on Elden Ring. You stated something funny. You were like, yeah, everyone talks about, I need this certain build, I need that build. I just pick up my sword and I swing. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, so Elden Ring was my first Dark Souls game, and I have never truly played a game like it. In my personal opinion, now, based off of what I've seen and researched and looked into, I'm not that great of a player on Elden Ring. My level is what saves me. I'm max level 713. I invested in maxing myself out because I realized that if you max yourself out, you're able to pick up whatever you want and use it. You can apply whatever you want and use it. Now, I see the game is in depth because it's difficult getting to a level 713 in Elden Ring, damn near impossible. Um, so because of that, many people wouldn't be able to play like me. They wouldn't be able to pick up a great sword and just get to swinging. You know, they would have to have the right build. They would have to put points in the right section in order to, you know, scale to whatever, may it be sorcery, incantations, strength, dex, arcane, faith, the whole 9 yards. Now, you know, if I were to play Monster Hunter, I would probably, my first 6 months, I would be like everyone else, trying to figure out, well, should I use a great sword? Should I use short sword and shield? Should I use just magic? Should I use throwables? Should I use, you know, whatever? And you know, that's just what it is on Elden Ring. You have people who just use faith incantations. You have people that just use sorcery magic. You have people that just are brutes. They just use heavy colossal weapons, and everything is put into dex and strength. So, you know, they're trying to clean you in like 3-4 hits with a heavy, or maybe 6 with a light, whatever, you know, whatever the build may be. I find myself to lean more towards a brute, and that's how I was before I maxed out on Elden Ring. I wanted the strongest weapon. I wanted to know what the dodging mechanisms were, what the deflecting mechanisms were, and to master those, because I knew, and as people have seen in Elden Ring, if you can get a clean parry off, you can follow up with a punishment. You know, a parry automatically makes your enemy kneel and gives you the open where you can just punish them straight up. Just either, if you got a great hammer, you just do a heavy smash. If you've got a sword, you walk right up to it, and it's just a completely different animation. But if I were to play Monster Hunter WoW, I would go more of a brute class. I would look to perhaps have most of my points dedicated to strength. With a little bit of magic, because I know that enhancing your weapons is a great deal. Like on Elden Ring, everyone wants to do a bleed build, because bleed is effective. You can essentially kill your enemy in a few hits. And that's necessarily where that comment came from. You know, build this, build that. I just pick my sword up and swing because I'm 713. I don't need to put a fucking build together. It just doesn't matter. I'm gonna pick this regular sword up, and I'm gonna clap you in 3 hits. So my stats are 99 across the board. So there's, you know, there's nothing to really think about. But I mean, it's, you know, people do put a lot of time. A lot of people cap at like level 150 in order to have a successful build, and it's kind of respect to the build and the character, things of that sort. I don't play like that. I want to play and have my character built where I can solo a boss, you know, and not after 8 days of repeatedly getting smashed on. No, like 8 minutes. You know.
So then my question to you, Pope, would be: Are you sacrificing speed for strength?
Yes, every time.
Then what it sounds like to me, and I don't know what you would think, Seven, or even you, Kerms, it sounds like you are a great sword user. As long as you got that, long as you got that ability to just dodge and get out the way and have a little bit of iframes.
Yes,
it sounds like you are a great sword. You want that power.
Yes, I want to punish you. I want to punish you for missing. That's it. You're gonna get punished every single time. I'm coming with a heavy every single time. I'm dishing out the max amount of damage every single time. And if you give me the opportunity to buff myself before the fight, you're probably not gonna last long.
This brings
what
up
he
a
described
question.
to me.
Go ahead,
What
Seven.
he described to me I literally thought he's either a hammer user or a longsword user. Literally talking about parrying, talking about countering, talking about dealing out like as much damage as he can, as quick as he can. I feel like it's either a longsword or a hammer. Those, like I was talking to about 12 earlier, like when you knock someone out, you can put in a lot of damage when you knock a monster out. And it's like a hammer user can do that. Now, longsword, it's about counters, but like you can dish out a lot, especially if you time your attacks right, you can like dish out a lot of damage. And I feel like it's either one of those two. I think that greatsword, I feel like Pope could probably master it, but I feel like greatsword is one of those things where it's just like it requires too much dedication to an animation that I think he hated because he'd end up missing a lot. And that's based off a lot of not even really him, but based off of a lot of the tubers and people I've seen play greatsword.
Yeah, that's why I switched off a great sword. Just missing, getting hit before I can swing, stuff like that. That's why I switched out of it.
It's the speed of greatsword. Greatsword has no speed, and
No speed whatsoever.
but the thing is, like I said, if you're willing to sacrifice the speed for the strength, then the greatsword is perfect. Because yes, hammer has strength, but hammer also got a little bit of speed too. There's a little bit of speed to hammer that the greatsword just does not have, and it sounds like he wants to sacrifice more of the speed to give you a 1400k hit.
But see, then also it's situational, and I apply this even in like real life. If I'm dealing with an enemy that just completely outclasses me in speed, I'm probably gonna have to sheath my great sword and pick up something that is gonna give me a little bit of speed, and I'll have to sacrifice just a slight amount of strength, but I'm still gonna dish that out. You know, it may take me a few more hits, but I'm still gonna dish it out.
I think personally, I feel like you should. I'm not gonna say I think, because this, you're your own person. You're gonna figure out what you want to do and what you want to play. But I feel like you should learn both hammer and greatsword. I feel like both of those would be really good. And Squall, actually, I got your stream up right now, so I'm watching it. And there's a comment on there that states start hammer then greatsword, and that's actually not a bad idea whatsoever, because hammer's going to give you that speed and a little bit of that strength. It's going to give you the strength and a little bit of that speed. It's the opposite. It's going to give you that strength, going to give you a little bit of that speed, and then once you're used to that, then learn greatsword, where you can go ahead and you can just knock them out with some really chunky hits, because let me just put a little bit of perspective of why I'm saying greatsword is as strong as it is. Right now, my friends and I are playing a form of like Monster Hunter D&D. There's actually, weirdly enough, there's a game out there that you can buy that is Monster Hunter D&D. And you do missions, you collect items, you do all that crap. My friend was able to hit the monster in our D&D session. He was able to hit the monster and do probably majority of the hit points on that monster with the greatsword. With the power-ups that he gave himself, with the little boost that he had, he hit majority of the monster's hit health. So that's why I'm saying I think you would be great from everything that you've stated. I think you would be great with greatsword, but I hear where Seven's coming from with the parries, because longsword is parries. Longsword is serious parries. Say it again.
Parry focus.
Yeah, it's extremely parry focused. but you can make some crazy builds with it. If you ever get a chance that you ever just want to look and see what longsword does, I suggest looking up a YouTuber named DG, Dear Gamer. He mains longswords pretty much in any game. He usually mains longswords, even like Elden Ring, but Elden Ring he's kind of more greatsword user type. But in Monster Hunter, he has long swords. He shows you his build, which I know that's going to be like foreign to you right now, but you'll see the damage that he does when he fights a monster. And he like, longsword can get up there, but if you like parries too, then longsword is another good one. But I think sticking with hammer and greatsword, yeah, that sounds like your bread and butter.
Well, I did want to point out, Baby Kerm said earlier, in Monster Hunter Wilds, you can bring 2 weapons. So he can possibly bring the great sword and hammer with him onto like whatever he's doing.
It definitely sounds like it's right up my alley because, I mean, in Elden Ring, I usually run with like multiple weapons. That's why I said it's all situational because I might come up against an enemy that has way more speed, and using a great sword at that point in time, regardless of how good I am at dodging, regardless of if I two-hand, and then that gives me, because in Elden Ring, if you two-hand a weapon, it gives you the block capability, and because of that, then you can respond after a block with a counter. Against an enemy that has speed, a great sword would fail me, even with the counter. It just doesn't matter, because I'll die from the amount of hits that I'll receive just in order to get that one hit off. You see, if I know that, then I'll tank up and put on armor, but I'm not an armor guy. I hate wearing armor. Half the time I'm half naked running around in Elden Ring. So so it's like I think that's where I got into the short sword with shield, and it's just all situational for me when it comes down to it. And I usually I'll go into a fight, I'll get beat, and I'll come back and I'll beat you, because during that entire first fight, I've watched everything you've done. I've seen that this weapon is pointless. It's too slow. It's not giving out enough damage. And if I don't have time to, react in that moment, in that fight, I'm gonna die. But best believe I'm coming back. I'm scraping you. Ain't nothing else to talk about. You getting beat up.
Okay. All right. Well, BGM, here's a question for you. What is your favorite monster? Out of all the Monster Hunter games you played, what is your favorite monster?
I have 2, honestly. Okay. And I know that like that's not necessarily the question that you asked, but looks wise, Zinogre. Zinogre is, I don't know, like every time I fight him, I'm like, oh, the big good boy, like, because he's just a big giant wolf, electric wolf.
Yeah.
But then but when I was a kid, I was in love with dinosaurs, and literally the Anjanath is like a big old T-Rex, and I love the Anjanath. Anjanath is just, to me, he's an epitome, and he's a big old bully. I love beating him up because he's a big old bully. I think it's so fun because you deserve it. You deserve it because you want to be a bully to everybody else. But like, if I had, like those are my 2. If I had to put one over top of the other, though, it would probably have to be Zinogre, because of just the way Zinogre moves and his and the way he looks. Like, those Zinogre probably would have to be on top, but it's hard because Anjanath and Zinogre kind of like alternate for me.
Okay. Well, before I say mine, Squall, you've fought in some monsters by now. I know you don't have a full spectrum yet, but for what you've seen so far, which monster do you like the most?
And there's still more too. There's
Yeah,
more
you got
for you
way
to fight,
more.
my friend.
Purple Hellfire Kitten. Fucking hate that guy.
Yes, Magna Malo.
Yeah. I mean, he
I
would be
love
cool
how he
if he was
comes
on my
the
side.
scene.
Huh?
I love how he comes on the scene. It's all stoic. I'm here. You know I'm here. Look, scatter, do whatever. Don't come near me. It's over. I love how that tiger comes in. It's his presence just sings to me, just like I'm it. I'm him. Like I love it.
Magna Malo is really dope.
Yeah. So, out of all the ones I played, since we bring it up too, I loved my favorite is Nargacuga, but the one from Sunbreak is my favorite. You know what I'm talking about, BGM?
The Lucent Nargacuga?
The Lucent. I love that one. It's like, especially when it goes for that that
He
huge
looks like a
slam.
bat.
You know, it's like invisible into like that huge slam. It's like it's I wouldn't say mesmerizing, but it's like it gets you on your toes.
It is kind of mesmerizing, though. I won't lie.
I loved that one in particular, but I guess if I wasn't talking about Nargacuga, because I'm also thinking about his gear as well. If I wasn't talking about Nargacuga, it's gotta be Fatalis.
Ooh, Fatalis.
There's something about World Fatalis. Now I haven't played GU's Fatalis yet, but there's something about World Fatalis. His presence. Look, I was talking about presence on Magnamalo, but Fatalis' presence on the field. If Magnamalo is a demon, then Fatalis is a devil. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
He is it. Okay? There is nothing better. Never will be.
He is literally called the World Destroyer.
Like. Okay. And
So
anything else on here?
Baby Kerm said Monster Hunter World is $20 with the expansion right now, so if we want to check it out, it's that cheap right now. And then he also just chatted in saying the correct answer is Glavenus.
Glavenus is a good one. Glavenus is a good one.
And the last question I guess I got for you is what would you like to see in the next Monster Hunter game? Or in Wild, I mean.
In
like a mechanic or a weapon?
Okay.
Mechanic or weapon?
Honestly,
or monster type.
Honestly, and there's gonna be tons of people who disagree with me. But I kind of wish that they would bring. What I want to see is more mobility. I want to see the kind of like the traversal and all that from Rise come into play in Wilds. I don't feel like the most traversal that we're gonna have is the little bird dog. Like that's the most traversal we'll have. I really want is the traversal with the wire bugs, even if it's some different form of the wire bugs. I want that traversal back because I feel like that is that traversal is fun when you really get the chance to even when you're in an actual mission, but when you're on like an expedition and you're just wire bugging throughout the whole area, to me it was so cool. It was one of the best parts about that game. I mean, I can zip this way and zip that way and be literally over top of a mountain.
The most immersive point of it. For me, it was the most immersive thing about that game was that I thought about it. I was like, because I made a post on Reddit a while back. I said I like the wire bug because it feels like this is what the hunters would do. Yes, they'll have a dog to ride on. Yeah, I agree with that. But when it comes down to it, the hunter needs to get better over the evolution, over the generations. Like, it doesn't really make sense that we're still fighting the exact same way from the first game to now. It just doesn't make sense. And so it really sold it for me, that movement, being able to run on walls. Maybe running on walls is a bit odd, maybe climbing, because, Rise is supposed to be ninjas and all that. But, like, being able to, travel vertically, get on top of mountains, and not be limited to just, like, specific areas, because I don't know if you played GU at all, but like in GU, like there are some locations you can't get back to because like you just went down the wrong side, and I hate that because it's like, well, what's stopping me? Why can't I just go climb? I'm a hunter. I'm not some kid or something. I'm a hunter. This is what I do. I do it in the cutscenes all the time. Like, don't stop me now.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I want the traversal to make its appearance and continue. But there was something that you said that sparked something else in my head when you said that why are we doing the same thing and the same thing and the same thing? I look at it like Pokemon, whereas Pokemon has given us basically the same shit every year to every other year. But because of the nostalgia of the game, we're going to keep buying it. We are going to keep buying it. So, and I'm not trying to tell people like to boycott the game or nothing like that, because I damn sure know I wouldn't even be able to boycott the game. But like, we got to demand more. We have to, if we really want to, if we really want to get some of the changes in some of these things, we as the players who help these companies make all this money to develop the games, we got to demand more in order for us to get to get changes. Same with I don't know if we and Pope, you can probably help. Well, this was your first one, but I don't know if you know many friends who played not Elden Ring, but Dark Souls type games. But like Dark Souls is kind of the epitome of that in its own right, because Dark Souls didn't have no jump button.
Yeah.
Nor was it free roam.
Listen, that's what one of my friends said. It was like, yo, fuck Elden Ring. Elden Ring is just Dark Souls with a jump button. I was weak.
But the jump button in that game gives it so much more depth.
Yes.
It helps so much more. Now, of course, there's going to be the OG Souls people who are going to sit there and tell you no, that's not what it does. But there's people who were stating like, we need a jump button, and look what happened. We got a jump button and we got an open world. And Elden Ring sold so many
Game of the year
freaking copies. Exactly.
Game of the year.
If we did the same thing with Pokemon, Monster Hunter, all these different type of games, we could get so much better stuff. Honestly, and I'm sorry, because y'all already know I'm from the comments, I'm a huge DBZ fan. But DBZ is the same way too.
Yup.
Xenoverse to Xenoverse 2.
Yes.
We literally got the same game basically with a little bit of a twist.
That literally. Yeah. Once I maxed out on Xenoverse 2, I put that game down and never played it again. I don't care what DLC they dropped. It didn't matter to me. It just, I needed more. I needed an open world.
And that's what I'm saying. I would like for games like that, I want the ability to, I want the superhero games, the superhero version of Dragon Ball, but not in the card-based version. Give me a arena fighter like Xenoverse, but give me that story. That's a brand new story. I would love to play. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, we as the consumers, we gotta voice that more to get what we really want.
Let me put this in you for a second, right? Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. You guys remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember how you have to go to different planets? There's like 6 planets in total, and you had to like traverse the planets, figure stuff out, this and the third. It wasn't necessarily open world, right? But that concept, but open world, Dragon Ball Z, is all I'm saying. because we went to Namek, we went to the other world, we went to here, there. If we follow GT, how many planets did we go to? Okay,
There was a lot.
you see what I'm
There's a
saying?
lot.
They need to give us a DBZ open world game, and I'm talking from Dragon Ball to past Super, because we know it exists. They need to give us
Yep.
that. They need to give us that. I don't know why we haven't gotten it yet.
And honestly, I'm just trying to think. Like, I know what they're not going to give us all the way up to
They'll
past
give
Super.
us. They'll
But-
definitely. They have to give us Broly. They have to
Right,
give us
right.
Broly and
And what I
Super.
was going to say was, even if they gave us something that was Dragon Ball all the way up to Broly, DBS Broly, and then DLCs of past Super, that would be great.
Mm.
That would be great, because we're getting all these different types of experiences now, but don't make it like Kakarot. Even though, don't get me wrong, I love the traversal in Kakarot. The traversal was to fly around at high speeds was great. I thought that was so fun. And they made it more realistic too, in the sense of, if you fly really fast, guess what? You're using your ki. If you turn into Super Saiyan, you're using your ki. Like, they did all that. I'm sorry, but we passed that. Like, realistically, we are past that.
It's
no
time
using
for
your
open
ki no
world.
more.
Yeah, it's time for open world DBZ. It's just it's time. Not even open world, open universe, open like it's time. It's time. You can't give us Super, introduce us to Jiren, and from all these different universes, all these powerful fighters with all of these unique techniques, and not give us an open world where we can traverse these galaxies and universes and go and fight these guys. You can't not give us that.
And that, like I said, that spirals back to what I was saying. We have to ask for more as the consumers.
Yeah.
We need to ask and demand for more. Now, I know that's, don't get me wrong, I know that's easier said than done. But sometimes they really do be listening to us. And if we ain't speaking up, then we ain't gonna get what we want. Now, Pokemon, like, I know we ain't gonna get what we want from Pokemon, because that's mainly kids.
Man, what? Chill
That's
out, bro.
majority kids. But like,
I play too.
No. What I'm saying is, that's mainly kids. I'm saying that's mainly kids that are gonna be the focal point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're the focal point. Whereas, don't get me wrong, we're Pokemon advocates. We love Pokemon, and we're in our 30s up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But like, they're looking more at the kids, because the kids are what's going to keep that whole thing going. They're going to keep that going.
The
And
kids are
each
gonna ask the
generation of
parents.
kids. But guess what? You can't fix what's broke. You can't, don't fix what's not broken. And for the kids, that shit ain't broken.
Yeah, it's not. It works perfectly for them.
For the kids, that's not broken. For us, that has broke a long time ago. That broke a long time ago. And the only thing that gave it a little bit more life, and I don't know if you all have played it or not, was Arceus. Pokemon Legends of Arceus. That gave Pokemon to me. Oh, if you haven't played that, Pope, just look past. All I'm gonna say is this: look past the graphics, okay? Just look past the graphics. But Pokemon Legends Arceus was the newest, most breathtaking part of Pokemon, because you literally were the trainer. Now you were a trainer that was pulled from modern day times back into the olden days, but you had the opportunity to catch the Pokemon in the wild yourself. It wasn't no running into the Pokemon and then, oh, a battle starts. No, you could throw the Pokeball and start a battle that way and do a typical turn-based battle, or you could throw a little berry, have them start eating the berry, and you go behind their back and throw a Pokeball at their back, and boom, you can catch them. So like, we need stuff like that from all these different games. We need
our world try to do that
I
and
love Power World. Squall already knows I ain't even gonna go too heavy into that, but yeah, I love Power World.
I've got Power World too. Me and both my wife and I, we stopped playing though. Yeah, that was an interesting one.
Power
That one's
World, and like
cool.
I don't even like Survivors for real. Like I'm not a big Survivor type of guy, but
Yeah.
Power World, I said this to so many people, like my friends and my family who play games. I was like, whoever knew that all I needed to play a survival game was to be able to throw to basically add Pokemon into it,
Mm,
and then I would want to
Yeah.
play.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Damn. Maybe we should discuss
Okay.
Power World on the next one.
All right. Well, before we hand it off to Squall, because I know he wants to end it.
Yeah.
EGM. Gotta ask you a question. Number one, have you seen Kaiji number 8?
No. When I
Okay.
was listening to y'all talk about it, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to listen. I'm gonna tune off of this so that way I can actually go watch it. Because I was like, I know I'm not going to have no conversation with Kaiju number 8.
Nah, that's a
Alright,
sick anime.
I'm gonna watch it 100%.
Yeah, definitely
Oh.
watch that one, bro.
Mhm.
It's good and it's got potential to be even better.
All right, and the second question is, you're talking to a brand new, just entered Monster Hunter. What do you tell them? What's the first 5 tips you'd give them?
Ooh. Dag, I wish you would have sent me this like days ago. I would have had something. I'd have had something for you. even if I didn't make it into the podcast, I could have just had something for you to read off. Like, okay, so one of my tips that I would say is go into the training mode and try out every weapon. Get a feel for every weapon that is in the game to know what you even are interested in, because you're going to see some gameplay on stuff. You're going to see gameplay. Some weapons are going to look cool, but then once you pick them up, they're not going to feel the way that they looked.
Yeah.
So go into the training mode and try out every weapon. That's my first one. You said 5, right?
Yeah.
5.
I'll help you out if you want.
I might need some
Don't
help. 'cause
forget
I'm
to eat.
about it.
Don't forget to eat, okay?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Don't forget
That's a
to
good
eat.
one. That's one I kept forgetting.
And I'm talking about
Listen, Squall, you're not the
I'm
only
talking
one,
about
man. I
before
was the
and
same way.
after. I'm talking
I was
before
the
and
same way.
after you would enter the hunt. You need to eat food and you need to eat stamina. You need don't forget to eat, okay?
Yeah. I agree with that. And if we're in that realm, I'm gonna give a caveat, not a caveat, but I'm gonna add to it. Always restock. I forget to restock almost all the time. I don't know how many times we were playing and Squall and probably Kerms both heard me kept saying, "Oh shit, I forgot to restock." Like I don't know how many times I kept saying that. I always, and my wife will tell you the same thing. She'll be like, "Honey, you forgot to restock," and I'm like, "Oh damn it, I forgot again." So always restock. But that's the little add on to always eat. The third one would probably be do not give up because of the fact the monster's hard. You're going to run into a monster that is going to give you problems. My monster was Diablos in Monster Hunter World. And I hate that monster to this day. Hate it to this day. But I still fight it. I still fight it only because I know I have to for certain things. But do not give up on this, on the game because of that. Once you find your weapon and you learn your weapon, you got a good little build for your weapon, then you're good. And then that actually carries on into number 4 for me. truly learn the mechanics of the game, every aspect. There's going to be situations where you're going to be playing with this armor and you're wondering, why am I getting wrecked, but 7 is not getting wrecked?
Yep.
What is the difference between us? Go and actually look at the armor and look at, because the armor tells you what perks it has and what you can take from it. Look at armor, look at decorations, which are considered jewels. Look at those, learn the game, really learn the mechanics of the game in order to succeed in the game. And then the last thing, find friends and just have fun. The game is fun by itself, but when you play with other people, it brings a whole different element to the game. No matter whether you die, whether your friends die, it don't make no damn difference. It brings a whole different element to the game.
I like it.
Speaking on friends, that little Palico guy you got there, don't forget to upgrade it. They come in handy, okay? They come in real
That's true.
handy.
That's very true.
Man. Matter of fact, let's talk about that for a second. I'll let you in, Squall. I know. BGM. Do you think we'll see more stuff with the Palico? Like, did you play GU?
Very briefly. Very, very briefly.
Like, I'm not expecting Prowler, but I'm wondering if they're gonna bring more stuff from the Palicos in there, because they had a lot of gadgets and stuff that you could use. And I'd love to be able to customize my Palico stuff. I'd love to.
I'm down for it. It's more for me to learn and more for me to be able to just build, honestly, make new builds. Even if it's built, and that's something I personally have to do for myself too, is I need to start learning to make builds for my Palicos and my Palamutes, because I like, and now whatever this new thing is
Call it
called.
a Griffin.
A Griffin? Is that what you said?
Griffin.
Griffin. I have to learn to give them their boost too, because majority of the time I'm usually just boosted up and they're not boosted up, and they still do what they do, but like they also get knocked out easy. So like that's something I have to also learn for myself as well.
Yeah, I wish I had more input to bring into this, because I'm still kind of new to Monster Hunter.
Hey,
yeah.
we got you, man. We got you.
Shoot, if Monster Hunter Wilds comes out and Pope's down, we can get like a squad running between us. That'd be sick.
Man, just let me swing the great sword, bro. That's it. You didn't.
Do we know if it's crossplay?
It is crossplay.
Oh, that's nice.
So I mean, I'm getting a better PC, but my plan is to get it on PS5, and I know a lot of people play on PC. So I don't know how many of you all play on PC, but we can definitely run some good sessions. I am down 100%.
Lit. Well, I think we've gone on long enough. I was gonna bring up one thing Baby Kerms questioned, but we'll save it for the next DBZ podcast. But I'll read it. We don't have to respond to it. How strong do y'all think Krillin and Yamcha would be if they had Zenkai boosts? Tune in next time on the next episode of.
Yeah, you definitely got to tune in for that one, boy. What?
Yeah, we'll discuss that one next
sucks,
time.
'cause I won't even be here for it. God damn it.
Damn. All
Maybe
right.
Maybe I can come in later. I don't know. We'll see.
Next anime for the next topics for the next in-betweens podcast. I'm thinking we're changing the name to Nerding Out to this podcast. I haven't thought of an anime yet. I was thinking maybe like One Piece or Jujutsu Kaisen. That'd be kind of cool. What do you guys think should be for the next anime podcast? Like,
if we do One Piece, that's a lot to do. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
One Piece is
But
a
if we do
lot to do.
JJK, we 5 episodes can give you an idea what's going on.
yeah. Well, I was just thinking about just watching like a few. Like, I haven't watched any of One Piece yet. I was thinking about watching like 10ish episodes to like have something to discuss a little bit here or there. But
Hey,
yeah,
There's also
that's
delicious
on my list.
dungeon.
What about Demon Slayer?
Demon
Oh,
Slayer's
Demon
cool.
Slayer's a good
I
one.
like Demon Slayer. Yeah, we
And
can
it's kinda-
definitely
There's
discuss
also
that.
delicious dungeon for Nathan.
It's a little bit spicy right now with the ending of that season and the entry of the Infinity Castle. So there's a lot of speculation too about which Hashiras are gonna die, which Hashiras are gonna survive. But of course, you know, once you skip ahead and read the manga, you already know.
Oh
So,
shit.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna
yeah.
catch up on the anime then, because I stopped watching like halfway through the 3rd season, but no
Oh,
specific
no,
reason why. I
Oh,
just-
okay. I was about to say, get back on the horse, gang.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll finish the rest of that one. But other than that, I don't got nothing else like planned. We'll discuss what will be the topics for the next one like shortly. Yeah, closing thoughts on like your guys on any of the topics, and then plug your socials at the end. Pope, we can start with you.
What's going on? Shit. I'm still taking Roshi over Krillin all day, every day. Shoot, Kaiju number 8. Definitely looking forward to seeing some more character developments for all of them. Definitely looking forward to seeing some new enemies and obviously some new allies. And Monster Hunter, man, yeah, that second trailer, Monster Hunter WoW, that definitely kind of won me over. I'm gonna stay on top of that for when it drops, and I think I'll be a new Monster Hunter player. Yeah, most definitely. For those of you that don't know, my name is Pope King. PK, some call me PKX. You guys can check me out on Twitch. I stream daily. Started streaming today for the first time on TikTok, so go check me out on TikTok at Pope King X. Also on Twitch, Pope King X. Check me out there. I stream as well. And on my YouTube, I do a couple shorts and videos trying to get my content up. But yeah, that's about it, man.
BGM.
BGM.
I'm gonna have to be the opposite of my homie Pope, man. I'm still with Krillin, but you know what though? For real, I respect you, my brother. I respect you. For real. I respect you.
You gotta stand on it, man.
Right, you gotta stand on business. You gotta stand on business. But Wilds, when it comes to Wilds, I am 100% down for that game. I hope that everybody in this chat does get it. I would love to run some sessions with y'all. That would be so much fun. And when it comes to my socials, I am, if you all heard, my name is BGM, but everybody, my actual whole name is Black Gaming Man. You can find me on TikTok at the Black Gaming Man on TikTok, Black Gaming Man on YouTube. I also stream on Twitch Mondays through Fridays, 9-ish in the morning till whenever I feel like getting off. So you can find me again on there, Black Gaming Man on Twitch, and also Black Gaming Man on TikTok. So, I mean, not TikTok, sorry. Black Gaming Man on Kick. And so, yeah, that's me.
Nice.
All right. It's 7 into 7. You can find me on Rumble, you can find me on Game Jolt, and you can find me on MeWe. I've got 3 questions for you, viewer. Number 1, if you were an officer in Kaiju number 8, what would you be? A gunner, a swordsman, or a monster? Number 2, if you're playing Monster Hunter Wilds, what weapon are you going to main? And number 3, while I am with Krillin, are you going to be choose the side, Krillin or Roshi?
Oh, that's a good one. I like those.
I like it.
Yeah, that's Pete. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Squall Rush. You can catch me on most platforms: Kick, uh, Rumble, Trovo, Twitch, YouTube, D Live. Kind of on TikTok. My videos weren't doing that well, so I kind of gave up on that one. Uh, yeah. Other than that, it was a great podcast. It was a pleasure to have you on the panel. Pleasure to have you guys viewing in the chat. I wanted to thank everyone for being here. We'll be back most likely next Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's the ballpark I'm guessing. Most likely it's gonna happen then. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great day and peace.
Peace, y'all.
Smooth.